As the devastation from Hurricane Katrina continues to unfold down south and in the morning newspapers, colleges around the country are getting in on the relief efforts, and that includes Colgate University as the Raiders get set to kick off the college football season this afternoon. Colgate and Central Connecticut State coming up next on Time Warner Sports. It is a gorgeous afternoon here in Hamilton, New York on opening day of the college football season, and we have the first ever meeting of these two schools, the Colgate Raiders hosting Central Connecticut State, the Blue Devils out of New Britain. Welcome everyone to Andy Kerr Stadium. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Mark Larson alongside my partner Dale Drypolcher. Glad you're here with us for opening day of the college football season. Doesn't get any better than this. It's a great day. Got a great field out here and a couple of very good 1AA teams. Well,
Central Connecticut has really done a nice job, and one of the things that they really like about themselves is what a great winning attitude they developed over the last couple of years, and that's they're looking this to be a key game to start them off in the right direction.
Well, the Blue Devils are coming off one of their best seasons in recent memory. They won their conference last year, Northeast Conference co-champions at 8-2, their first winning season in many years, and the numbers back that up.
Well, if you check out the rushing and passing yards, very balanced team, and that's one of the things they like about themselves. They can pass, they can run, they give you a lot of different looks, and they put up a lot of points, so it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Now the upcoming schedule for the Blue Devils, they'll be back home next week for their home opener with Rhode Island, a team that they lost to last year, looking to avenge that one, their first conference game, not until week 4 when they host the Albany Great Danes. Now for the Colgate Raiders, a tough act to follow last year. They were following up the championship game run, 15-1 season. They went 7-4 last year, and around here that's kind of a disappointment, but still, it's 9 straight winning seasons here at Colgate.
According to the coach and the coaching staff, they thought they lost a little focus last year. They want to get it back. This is a great game for them to get refocused.
That's not all they lost. They lost some very good players as we look at the numbers from last year's 7-4 record. The players they lost, the starting quarterback, the starting tailback, a lot of guys to replace.
When you look at the rushing yards and the passing yards, the disparity, of course, so they don't have Chris Brown throwing to Luke Graham anymore. That's why they had so many more passing yards. It was a great combination. That's gone. They're going to look for a little more balance this year. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what they come up with offensively for the Central Connecticut team.
And a favorable start to the season schedule-wise for Colgate. 4 of their first 6 games right here at Andy Kerr Stadium, where they just don't seem to lose, including next week when they host UMass. And as for more on that home field advantage, let's go downstairs to Dan Liedtke.
Well, thank you, Mark. You alluded to the toughness at home at Andy Kerr here for Colgate. They currently own the longest home winning streak in Division I AA with 17 straight. Ironically, though, in season openers, whether it be on the road or at home, they're only 2-7 under Coach Biddle, but those 2 years went on to some pretty great campaigns back in '99 where they were 10-2, and then the dream season in '03, 15-1. They'd like to get it done here on their home field in the opener. It's a perfect day for a game, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff between Central Connecticut and Colgate right after this.
Raiders football on Time Warner Sports 26 is brought to you by Cole Muffler and Brake. It's time for a change, a Castrol oil change at your nearby Cole Muffler and Brake Center. By Barden Homes, better, faster, smarter. By Davidson's Chevrolet of Rome, our prices are so low, our competition hates us. And by Oneida Savings Bank, your link to a brighter future.
Welcome back to Andy Kerr Stadium in Hamilton. We are getting set for kickoff of Central Connecticut State and Colgate, first ever meeting, as we get the college football season underway on a beautiful afternoon. Crowd still coming in here at Andy Kerr Stadium. Mark Larson, Dan Liedtke, Dale Drypolcher. Glad you're with us this afternoon for Colgate football. Central Connecticut State is coached by Tom Masella, only his second season beginning. He was the Northeast Conference Coach of the Year last year after taking the Blue Devils to their first winning season in 17 years. Just the opposite for Dick Biddle. 9 straight winning seasons, going for 10 in a row this year. Dick Biddle, 76-31. With a win this afternoon, he will tie Fred Dunlap for second on the all-time wins list here at Colgate. And he's gotten there in a hurry. Colgate has won the flip at midfield, and they have elected to receive the football. Dwayne Long is back there. And they will begin the 2005 season on the offensive side. Kenny Parker also back there with Long, making his first start. Here's Kenny. All right, and set to kick is Derek Pearson. Foot to football, and we are underway. And this is Dwayne Long at his 4-yard line. Long to the outside and out of bounds at about the 28-yard line, and that's where Colgate will take the football. And Dwayne Long, one of the interesting stories on this Colgate team, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Offensive starters for the Colgate Raiders look like this. Ray LaMonica filling in for Jamal Branch, Ben Evans, Dwayne Long, who's gotten his 6th year of eligibility, along with Kenny Parker, and Jeff Brown up front. A freshman starting in an offensive line for the first time ever under Dick Biddle. It's Steve Jonas, 280-pounder out of Webster, New York. He turns 18 in October, so a 17-year-old in the starting lineup for the Colgate Raiders. And on first down, Saraceno will look to throw deep, going for Long, and he's got him. Dwayne Long inside the 20, inside the 10, and down to the 5-yard line. How's that for starting with a bang?
Well, I'll tell you what he saw. They're going to come after him. They're going to blitz him, and he knew he had single coverage on the outside as long as he had protection, and they gave him good protection because watch this. It's just one-on-one, and Dwayne Long got behind number 31 early, Farid Muhammad, and they're inside the red zone in just a couple of seconds.
Big gainer, the first play of the season. A pretty good start for Colgate. They'll mark him down at the 6, first and goal. A hand up the middle, LaMonica. And he is knocked outside. Good defensive pursuit by the Blue Devils that time. Finally finishing him off was Brian Sullivan. There'll be a loss on the play.
Linebacker came up and made the stop, but they got good penetration there off the left side of Colgate line. Big loss back to just about the 19.
And there's a look at Mike Saraceno, his first career start. And he got it off to a pretty good start there with a long pass on the first play. Saraceno, the junior, out of Sunrise, Florida, taking over for Chris Brown, who had a terrific record here as a starter. So big shoes to fill there as well. And the Raiders will have to take a timeout there. There's some confusion on the play call on 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line. Saraceno, the hands out there, and they'll talk things over. Let's take a look at the Central Connecticut defense up front. Keith Pratt is a converted fullback, along with Devin Douglas and Scott Parsons, a co-captain. The linebackers are all seniors, a good group. Corey Tucker was all conference last year. The defensive secondary, Nigel Monge is one of the corners. On the other side is Stephon Benson. Marvin slowly getting the start, and Farad Muhammad are the safeties.
It was Muhammad that had a little trouble covering Dwayne Long first play of the game, but what they did is they brought a lot of heat to get into Saraceno's face, obviously trying to rattle somebody who maybe doesn't have that much experience, and it backfired, but they really did a nice job next play, and now it's a long way to go for Colgate.
Saraceno to Long again, nice catch, but only a short pickup of about 3. And that's something Dwayne Long can give you. He's not only a home run threat, as his coach calls him, but he's got some of the best hands I've ever seen. He and Luke Graham last year consistently were amazing. And there was one play I can remember distinctly where Dwayne Long went up high, full extension, and brought it in with one hand for only a 5-yard gain, but it was one of the best catches I've ever seen. Well, now it's 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. Saraceno, end zone, overshot his man. Kenny Parker, the intended receiver. So the Blue Devils, after that first play, stand tall on defense and are going to force the field goal try.
I'll give them credit. They didn't get rattled. They came back and played very tough defensively as they're going to force the field goal attempt early.
And after giving up the 66-yard play on the first play of the game, to come away with only a 3-point deficit would be a victory for Central Connecticut. Here's Mike Rava. And that one looked perfect. Mike Rava through the uprights. Only his 2nd career field goal, and he's put the Colgate Raiders on top 3-0. But as I said, a moral victory anyway for the Blue Devils.
I think he was one of three coming in, so there's a lot of guys on both sides who don't have a lot of experience. You can see if Tim Sheard steps out there, who's supposed to for Central Connecticut, he's a guy who hasn't spent a lot of time out there either. So it's going to be a nice matchup of inexperience.
Well, Rava went from 33% to 50-50. One kick, 3-0 Colgate. "27-yard field goal by Mike Rava has given the Raiders 3-0 lead here. Early going of the 2005 season. New quarterback Mike Saraceno coming up with points on his first drive as a starter. I'm sure he wanted a few more than that, but they'll settle for 3 and put the defense to work, considered by some to be maybe the strength of this Colgate team this year. Jacob Stein will kick it off for the Raiders. And this one is going to be taken by Green at the 6. Right up the middle goes Green, and he's brought down out across the 25, about the 27-yard line. Zach Dollar in on the tackle.
And Zach Dollar will stay and play. He was on the special teams and will stick around. And
here's the offense for the Blue Devils. JoJo Freeman making his first start at tailback. Marquise Morrison, Andre Smith, Northeast Conference Rookie of the Year last year. Up front, sophomore preseason all-conference Ryan Nutt at the left tackle spot, couple 300-pounders on the left side. So if they run the football, look for it to go that way. And they go that way on first down, and it's Tim Sheard rolling, and he'll keep it, get across the 30. Sheard close to a first down and out of bounds. And that's something that Tim Sheard gives the Blue Devils, his mobility. He was the 3rd leading rusher as a true freshman last year.
saw him do it in high school, too, not too far from here, Corcoran High School, and some of his fans, see down below us here to cheer him on, but even in high school, very mobile and able to throw the ball on the run. So Sheard setting up and having to run, but collecting a first down.
And you see the numbers passing-wise for Sheard last year, 127 yards through the air. He also had 145 on the ground. And he picks up a first down on his first play from scrimmage, out to the 37. This time we'll give it off and stacked up right away. Josh Worst in there on the tackle. The entire Raider defense running to the football and a short pickup on first down. Colgate defensively, all seniors up front. Casano, Worst, Petrone, and Galetly. The linebacker core, also a good one. Jared Nepa, one of the co-captains of this team. In the secondary, the Williams brothers at the corners. Cody and Chris. Chris, the more experienced one, and Jeff Bean, 6 interceptions at the strong safety position last year. So a very solid defensive unit. All upperclassmen and 1 sophomore for these Colgate Raiders. Second and about 9. Sheard looking to throw. Flushed out. Now Sheard fires into triple coverage. It's picked off. That's Chris Williams. And Williams has some room. Can he get a block? Across the 30, inside the 20, and dragged down from behind. Well, Chris Williams coming up with the interception and taking it all the way back inside the 20. And the Raiders in good field position again, scoring position again.
What a great job he did. 47 yards in this, but Sheard, he's got everybody scrambling. He thought he had somebody open, but watch number 14 step right in and make a great grab. He's bobbled the ball, then turns into a running back, makes a nice cut, sets up a nice block. He gets a nice block from Cody Williams, 27, a little bit of an escort, and then from behind, brought down, but not before he puts Colgate right back in scoring position.
And on first down, running play stacked up by the Blue Devils. Showing some strength on the run defense. A short gain, maybe even a loss on that one. Corey Tucker in on the tackle. Loss of about 1 on the play. There's Corey Tucker, one of the co-captains of this team.
Yeah, he was one of their leading tacklers last year.
Yep.
And he is always where the ball is.
And the Raiders finding it tough going on the ground so far. On 2nd and 11, they'll try it again. LaMonica got some good blocks that time, and inside the 15, down to about the 14-yard line. LaMonica got about 6. Ray LaMonica, good story there as well, as he fills in the shoes of Jamal Branch.
Nice job of getting outside. Ryan Hall sealed off the outside. They ran a double team and pulled Hall out, and he did a nice job of sealing it off, and he cut off of Hall's butt and picked up 6 yards, but still 3rd and long. Let's see what they come up with. Trips.
You saw LaMonica's numbers last year. He was the leading rusher on this team in 2002. And that one's picked off on 3rd down. And the Blue Devils have got the football back. Anthony Wilson stepping in front. The sophomore out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, coming up with the interception. So 2 teams trading turnovers here.
You read that perfectly. Watch. He doesn't look anyplace else. Saraceno doesn't look anyplace else, and he baits him. And then when the receiver went down, he stepped in front. The receiver was on his knees, but Wilson did a great job of timing that, stepping in front and getting the interception. So they trade interceptions. No harm on the first one. Let's see if they can score off of this turnover. They're inside right their own 7-yard line.
And the Raiders have had it inside the 20 of Central Connecticut State twice now, and just 3 points to show for it. Let's see what the Blue Devils can do on offense. Sheard starts out from his own 7. Give the ball right up the middle, and nothing doing again. Both defenses very stout against the run so far. Galletley was in there on the tackle.
It gets not a lot of running lanes in there. Those guys really fill it in. They overload a little bit to the strong side, and when the ball was snapped, he went to the strong side. Door was closed. He tried to cut it back. Too many maroon shirts there, and that's going to bring 2nd and about 9.
I mentioned an all-senior defensive front for Colgate. Guys that have been through the battles, been to the national championship game a couple of years ago. A lot of experience up front. 2nd and long, Sheard on a designed run, and he's going to lose yardage. Patron in on the tackle there, and the Raiders forcing a 3rd and long and a dangerous play coming up for Central Connecticut.
Patron 6'3", 280, got there in a hurry. They had trips down to the bottom of the screen, and then they just started blocking right away. And he read the fact that those receivers were blocking. He filled the hole, and it was a designed run. Didn't get much. It lost a little bit, so it's 3rd and about 11.
Good look at Patron out of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. And Tim Sheard in a dangerous spot here. 3rd and long from his own 7. Sheard going to keep it again. Quarterback draw, not going anywhere. Got a couple maybe out to the 10, a little bit more room for the punter. Probably enough. Not enough for Derek Pearson as far as he's concerned. Galletley in on another tackle along with Zach Dollar, and the Raider defense doing the job.
Had the nickel, and they had 5 defensive backs in there trying to obviously guard against that pass. They knew it was coming. They didn't, just got the punt off.
Beautiful kick by Pearson. Drive Bean back to the 46. Bean, good return inside the 30. Jeff Bean.
Late flag.
Flag comes down as Bean gets up to close to the 25, but let's take a look at the penalty and see if this one's coming back.
Block in the back, it's going to cost him. Yeah, that return is going to be negated because it's back 20 yards, 15 yards from where the ball is now. So it's going to be a big penalty.
More often than not, when you see the flag come down like that, that's what it means. Here comes the call.
During the return, 99 on the receiving team, block in the back, 10 yards from the spot of the first down.
And the call from Tony Marcella, who is
We have a TV timeout.
no relation to Tom Masella, who's the head coach of Central Connecticut State. We'll take a break. Colgate hanging on to a 3-0 lead. $3-0 our score here in Hamilton. The Raiders leading Central Connecticut State. Want to remind you, coming up a week from today, a doubleheader on Time Warner Sports, college football, starting at Colgate. A noon kickoff, Massachusetts and Colgate, and then immediately following at 3:30 to the Carrier Dome in Syracuse for the Orange and the Buffalo Bulls. College football doubleheader live next Saturday here on Time Warner Sports. The Raiders sideline and Mike Saraceno. A little bit good, a little bit bad so far in his first career start. And here's LaMonica, runs into his own man, mix up in the backfield, and he did not quite get back to the line of scrimmage.
Use a short shotgun formation. ran the handoff, and a lot of penetration up front by Central Connecticut. Watch, see those white shirts? That's a problem when you get Scott Parsons in there that quickly, number 56. Even if he doesn't make the tackle, you look up and you say, this guy is not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Terry Dunn, Corey Tucker on the tackle. 2nd and 11 for the Raiders, neither side able to establish a running game so far. Here's Saraceno out of the pocket. Ooh, oh, long up high. Maybe jumped a little early for that one. Floated just out of his reach. He'll bring up 3rd and 11.
A nice play. They took Parker long and then brought Dwayne Long underneath him across the formation. Watch Long. He's going to show up right here. But just, man, how athletic, though. You could see he's an athlete, how high up he got.
And how high and how long he was up there.
That's right, yeah. He was hanging. I'm glad they got him back for his 6th year.
6th year of eligibility.
Started at
for
Nebraska.
Dwayne Long.
Yeah,
He did.
you can see why he started at Nebraska. Quite an athlete.
Got some talent. And now Saraceno just past the first down marker, but overshoots his intended receiver. Garen Rose was out there. Good coverage by Wilson, who had the interception, and Central Connecticut defense doing the job. So early on, both defenses trading blows here.
Interestingly, they blitz a lot. Central Connecticut blitz. They picked it up. They just couldn't complete it. And not like they were in his face. He had a lot of time. So the offensive line actually doing a pretty good job of pass protecting. I'm of an opinion they got to get the running game going.
Matt Gomes is deep to receive at about his own 10-yard line. Awaiting the punt. And it is a great kick. And he's going to let it bounce. And it's going to bounce into the end zone. But a terrific kick that time. Really got his foot into it. Jason Sutton boots it into the end zone. So the net punt will not be what he would want, but the gross punt was 51 yards and into the end zone. Central Connecticut will take over on its own 20. The Raider defense pretty strong thus far, Dale.
Well, that was just stepping up in front, reading it. Chris Williams did a great job, and then you can see the gang tackling, and then Sheard trying to run, and they just that designed run play out of a spread formation. They jammed it right at the line of scrimmage, so they have been doing well defensively. They got the spread formation again. Let's see how Colgate goes to the gun out of this.
Sheard in the shotgun, a quick throw. Got his man, but driven out of bounds by Zach Dollar. And Andre Smith only picked up about a yard on the play.
That's your basic long handoff. It's one of those just quick fire and throw. Hope that he can maybe shake and bake a little bit and lose somebody. Watch here, just turns the long handoff. Make sure it goes frontwards. But right there he tried to move, but not able to outfox number 81, Zach Dollar, who drove him out of bounds. And it's 2nd and long.
Call it 9 yards to go for the Blue Devils. And Sheard in the shotgun again. This time he'll look a little longer. Down the field, looking for Smith again. And over the wrong shoulder as Smith tried to adjust to the ball. And it'll be a 3rd and 9.
Gallantly in his face at the last minute as Sheard was looking way downfield, but Gallantly came off the outside. As they shift around, they use number 81, Zach Dollar. They'll put him as a rush end and the linebacker and try to put pressure on Sheard. They're going to have it their way now because it's 3rd and 9, so they know he's going to have to pass the ball.
Sheard picked up the only first down of the game for the Blue Devils on a scramble. This time he'll throw again on 3rd and 9. Out to the left side this time. Flag comes down, and a first down, apparently, for JoJo Freeman. And now another flag comes down after the play. Now we'll wait and see how the officials sort this one out.
Holding against Central Connecticut. Going to negate that first down.
And we'll see where the hold occurred, where they will mark off the penalty from. Looks like right at the 30. Move it back 10 yards. It'll be
holding. Number 4 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still 3rd down.
3rd and 10 upcoming. You look at Coach Masella, whose team set so many offensive records last year, but they lost their starting quarterback, guy who holds most of the career passing records at Central Connecticut State. And now he's starting a sophomore, Tim Sheard, so you're going to take the good with the bad when you're starting someone that hasn't been in there. And Tim Sheard, certainly a lot of talent. And we saw that, as you said, Corcoran High School back in his days at Syracuse. And now Sheard looking long, got the first down. Great pass, put it right on the numbers to Jermaine Roberts, freshman wide receiver. Well, inexperienced that time, looking pretty good.
Yeah, he got the corner. He had the time. Look how much time he had. And he makes his break, and right there he had the long, long distance between himself and the corner. And you can see right here, look at the distance. He closed, made the tackle, but not before they picked up a great first down. Sheared, nice pass. Rolling out, getting out of the shotgun, and keeping that defensive line off him gives him time to throw.
24 yards on the completion, and the second first down of the game for the Blue Devils. And now right up the left side. Good pickup on first down, and a hard tackle that time by Josh Wurst. Marquise Morrison, the ball carrier there, got about 5. Now let's go downstairs. Dan Lika has a very interested group of fans for Central Connecticut.
Parents, Tina and Tim, and how about this, a home opener not too far from home for your son?
Hey, that's nice too. I'm glad that we brought love family with us, and we close by, and it's not far. And my son is very excited about this game too. He said this is gonna make me or break me, Dad. So he's doing pretty good though. That first interception, he looking over it. So, you know, got a long way to go. Colgate looked pretty good though. Good defense. We got nice defense on Connecticut, so we's holding them. So time will tell what's happening.
Well, let's ask a question to Mom now real quick. Going to Central Connecticut, how many road trips you get to make out there to see your son play?
Every game. We're there every game. We don't miss a game. We make every game. We're very supportive.
Great parents, you can't beat that. We'll send it back upstairs.
All right, thanks very much, Dan. And Mama and Papa Sheard down there. Dad's name is Tim as well. And little Tim's out there leading the Blue Devils in his first career start. He's got him at midfield, 3rd and 4 coming up. Also a great basketball player back in his day at Corcoran High School. Talented athlete. He's going to keep it and roll on 3rd down. He's under some pressure. Gets by Nepa, gets around the corner. Going to be close. We'll see where they spot him. The official standing right at the 47. He needed to get to the 46. Looks like he's about a yard short.
Brett Smith ran him out of bounds, number 99. Stretching it, but right here he turns it up. When you can turn it up, now he's getting positive yardage. And you see the nice block, and he got downfield from his wide receiver. But he gets knocked out just about a yard, I think.
About a yard
by
short.
Brent Smith.
Yard and a half or so. Well, they spot it just inside the 47. The 4th and a little less than a yard. Let's see if they're in 4-down territory here. Sheard doesn't want to come out. His rushing totals from a year ago, I mentioned, 3rd on the team.
Get timeout here.
Timeout.
We'll talk things over.
That is their first timeout.
So we'll talk things over about the 4th down play coming up. As the Blue Devils look to keep hold of the football, they've put a little drive together here.
Interestingly, neither team really got a good running game going. When we got about 4:45 left in the first quarter, and they're both looking to put that football up, and they're throwing the football.
Well, here's the other thing for Central Connecticut State. Their offensive coordinator, a guy named Ed Argast, he played at Colgate back in the late 70s. He coached under Biddle, alongside Biddle, so Ed Argast is going to have to come up with something that Dick Biddle hasn't seen before, and that's not going to be easy. And there is the active home winning streaks in 1AA football. Colgate far and above the #1 streak in the land, 17 in a row here at Andy Kerr Stadium. The last loss was the season opener in 2002. So 3 years ago or so to the day. Appalachian State, number 11. Central Connecticut State down there at number 6, tied for 8th with 6 in a row at home. All right, let's take a look at Tim Sheard and some of the talents he's displayed this afternoon so far.
Well, he's shifty. You can see that. Protects the ball, gets out of bounds. Watch the arm strength. That was a great pass. And he's got the arm strength, and then he's got the scrambling ability. And you see here where he turned it upfield, just gets knocked out of bounds. So he's got about a yard to convert that, and this is what you're going to see. Let's see what they come up with. He's out of the gun.
Shotgun formation on 4th and a yard. Rolls left and throws quickly, first down. Steve Berjeski still on his feet inside the 30. The ball comes loose. And I think they're going to say he was down.
Yep.
Berjeski got down to the 26-yard line. Some tough running after the catch. But he was out there all by himself. Good call on 4th down.
He was all by himself. Just tight end, turn around, 6'1", 185 pounds. He runs like he weighs about 230. They're going to breaking tackles, spinning, breaks another tackle, finally gets brought down.
How about Petrone all the way downfield, the defensive tackle,
right,
to make the tackle.
Yep.
Good pursuit. Otherwise, Berjeski might have run all the way into the end zone. Sheard almost lost his footing. Now has to just lay on the football and avoid further damage. Galletley there to usher him to the turf. A good drive going here for the Blue Devils, though.
Galletley brought him down. You know, it looked like he was going to run the option. He took a step to the right, had his tailback with him, number 11, JoJo Freeman, but it didn't get that far. Galletley got in and stopped the play before it got any momentum.
It looked like somebody stepped on Sheard's foot as he was backing out. So a 2nd and 10 from the 26. Flags come down, some movement before the play. What a gorgeous afternoon we have out here today.
Prior to snap. Delay game. Number 7 on the offense. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
And that seemed like a quick count to you. I don't know. It didn't seem like he was taking too long, but look at the sun-baked stands across the way. Folks loving this late summer weather here in central New York. Gorgeous Labor Day holiday weekend. Good time to come out and watch some college football.
But those spread out, forces Colgate to that 5 defensive back look.
From the 31, 2nd and 15. Morrison right up the middle, only got about 3.
You know, when they list themselves as multiple, that is multiple. They've shown a short shotgun, a long shotgun, spread out trips. They have also, you know, snapped right from the center and run an option. So they've got a multiple offense. Very difficult to prepare for.
I know some folks in Syracuse got a little tired of hearing the word multiple.
Yeah, right.
We'll see what the Orange have in store tomorrow under the dome, and again next Saturday here on Time Warner Sports as they usher in a new coach and a new era in Syracuse. 3rd and 12 here. Sheard gets out of trouble. Flags come down all over the field as somebody was likely dragged down.
Yeah.
Wait for the call, but everybody saw it.
Looked like Smith was being held.
Yeah.
Once again, they give you a different look. Coach going to say these holding penalties, you got to stop.
Holding. 78. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Let him use the down up.
And take a look. I think Guba was just trying to protect his quarterback here.
Yeah, he just tackled him.
Yep. So they hurt themselves with a couple of penalties there. The delay of game and then the holding call. And now a field goal try coming up from 48 yards out.
That's pretty good. Pretty good poke. 46 maybe.
Derek Pearson on to try. His long was 37 last year. Grab the leg. It does, and it's through. So Pearson converts 48 yards out.
48, you're right. That was quite a poke.
And well past as long of a year ago, and then had a couple of yards to spare. So we're tied at 3 after a couple of field goals from each side. 3:24 to go. And the offense, so the Blue Devils showing a little life on that drive.
Absolutely no wind, so this is just a picture perfect plant and kick and good camera work. going to show it go right through those uprights. And you're right, that another couple of yards, he might have been good from 50.
That was a career long for Derek Pearson, the senior. And he'll get set to kick it again. 2:24 to go here, actually, in the first quarter. Now let's see if the Raiders can put together a drive. They had the big play, the 66-yard pass completion, and the big interception return, but offensively haven't done much else than that.
And that was a pretty much a long drive in terms of time for Central Connecticut. Colgate hasn't had the ball in a while.
Parker and Long deep to receive the kick. Heading in Long's direction. Picks it up at the 10. What a move. How to get out of that? Across the 20. Best looking 13-yard return we've seen in a while. Long made several people miss. And the Raiders will start out from their own 23. Dwayne Long, as we said, started out at Nebraska his sophomore season, hurt his knee in the first game and didn't play again, and then transferred and ended up getting an extra year of eligibility because of that season here at Colgate. I'll tell you about some golf coming up Monday afternoon, the Deutsche Bank Open final round here at Time Warner Sports, 3 o'clock. They're on the tee. On first down, running play to the right. And a pretty decent gain, got about half of it on first down. Steve Hansen with the carry, freshman out of Orlando, Florida. Another one of those freshmen on this team. There are 5 freshmen backing up and 1 freshman starting, and a lot of youngsters down there for the Colgate Raiders. Let's go back downstairs to Dan Liedtke.
Thank you, Mark. The defense from Colgate over on the sideline here, the coach is talking to them. Satisfied with the stop there, but they told them they need to focus on just making simple tackles and sticking to techniques and fundamentals, tackling and bringing the player down. Back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Dan. This Blue Devil defense has really done the job. Corey Tucker, another tackle for him. And the first team all-conference pick from last year is off to a good start this season.
You know, he's not a big guy. He's 6 foot 210 out of Ohio, Warren, Ohio. And he is tough. And as I said, he's always around the ball. And they're really pushing those gaps. Those linebackers step up. They got 4 down linemen, but those linebackers are right behind him. And it's really tough to find a running lane. And unless you get to the outside or you can seal them off, it's tough sledding up in there.
Saraceno facing another third down. A long 4. He hit the 66-yarder. And then one other short one, and now he'll throw on the run, and it's intercepted again. Good field position for Central Connecticut inside the 40-yard line. And coming up with the interception, Farad Muhammad, who was beaten on the first play of the game. Farad makes up for that, and Saraceno might have been advised to just run that one.
Well, yeah, they, you know what? He threw it behind him, too. Actually, he had him open. Had he led him, but he threw that way behind him, and Muhammad just stepped up and made the interception. But he actually, when I saw the replay, he was really pretty much open if he had thrown it. But you know what? It's running and throwing to your right is really difficult to throw on the run, and he wasn't able to put the ball where he wanted to, and Farad Muhammad gets the ball right back for the Blue Devils.
And an in-state kid from Buffalo, New York, Farad Muhammad. The second interception of the game for the Blue Devils. And this is Morrison up the middle on first down. And Petrone and Wurst combining on the tackle. Josh Wurst and his twin brother Jeremy, who's on the offensive line for Colgate. And they do look exactly alike. If you see in the media guide, I asked Coach Biddle if they ever try to mess with him and trade jerseys. He said, nah, it was a novelty before, but now, you know, they've both been here for a while, so you can probably tell them apart without the jerseys on. Pitch from Sheard, who took a hit, but he got rid of it, and almost a first down it looks like. Andre Smith, a wide receiver in there to carry that one up across the 30, down to right about the 29, right on the marker.
Jared Neppa on Sheard, but that's what the option quarterback's supposed to do, take the hit as long as he doesn't have the ball. He made the flip, took the hit, and they got the ball up close enough to be measured. Now it's first down. So the option right garners a first down. We got another timeout here.
And actually the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
Well, the crowd enjoying the sunshine and a very competitive football game. Two of the better 1AA teams in the Northeast going at it 3-3 after one. Opening day of the college football season here in Hamilton. 3-3 our score as we head to the second quarter. The Blue Devils of Central Connecticut State on the move again. Looking to take the lead in this game for the first time. Quarterbacked by Tim Sheard, who played his high school ball at Corcoran in Syracuse. First career start for the Blue Devils this afternoon, and Sheard has put together a couple of good drives now as they look for some more points. First and 10 from the 29. Sheard tries to buy some time. Now gets out of the pocket and got a few. And that's, as I said, what Sheard can do for you. He can look, and then if he has to take off, he can usually pick up a yard or two.
Well, there's the stats. The passing, 68 and 46. You can see the rushing statistics, not all that impressive for either team. Total offense, 80 and 70. First down, Central Connecticut had that long drive, or fairly long drive, and the turnovers of what killed Colgate. Those two interceptions had just stopped them in their tracks. They haven't been able to generate a consistent offense.
When do you think the last time is the Raiders had 2 yards rushing in the first quarter?
I know, that was not in a long time.
Jamal Branch, who ran for more than 4,000 yards the last 2 seasons here. And his absence being felt right away. Marquise Morrison now up the middle, and he's going to be dragged down from behind. Tom Casano making the tackle, making his first career start for the Raiders.
I was just watching the Colgate, the corners, and one of the things they were doing was they were showing kind of a zone and laying off. Then they come up and they're jamming the receivers at the line of scrimmage. So when Sheard's looking up, now this was a running play, but when Sheard's looking up on the passing plays a couple times, his receivers have not been downfield because they've been jamming them and pressing them at the line of scrimmage. Let's see what they do now with 3rd and long. See if they stay off them or if they press them. 14 has been doing the job. Chris Williams, the corner, top of the screen. He's matched up with Pogetsky.
3rd and long 5 for the Blue Devils. Sheard rolls to his right. Nepa coming in. Nepa goes down. Sheard throws it long. Knocked away and out of bounds by Williams. A dangerous pass there by Sheard, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Jared Nepa was coming on the blitz, and Sheard just able to skip around him. Good mobility.
Yeah, he is very mobile. As he rolled to his right, the field got smaller and smaller. Everybody was garnered, who got garnered by the passing, ended up in one corner, and there it was, knocked down, out of bounds. But he is very mobile.
So Pearson on to attempt a 42-yarder. He kicked a 48-yarder just a few minutes ago. His career long. And he'll try to stay perfect for the season. Good snap, good kick. Right down the middle again. Derek Pearson, 2 for 2. And the Blue Devils have their first lead of this game, 6-3. They're taking advantage of the interception. They cashed in for at least 3 points. And when you get the lead in the game, I always think the mental edge is so big when you have the lead. If you never lead in the game, if you're always coming back, it gets hard after a while. And now you're able to take the lead and see what you do with it.
I think that 2 yards rushing for Colgate, a little psychological. You know, they're used to being able to jam the ball down people's throats. Now, it's a different year, it's a different time, but the strategy's still the same, and the running game has not been going. Incidentally, just looking at that field goal, you know, the kickers like the laces pointed toward the goalpost. They got them sideways on that one, which, as long as you're not at your foot, I guess. But that was a nice kick, and he's been the only offense for the Blue Devils, and it's 6-3.
Well, Mike Saraceno is making his first career start today, and both quarterbacks making their first career starts, and we've seen a little bit of the inexperience.
That was a nice pick, and then the other one was way behind the intended receiver. So it's been difficult for Saraceno. This is his first game, really, and it's they're asking a lot of him. And you know what? He's got a lot of time left. Let's see who can shake off the running doldrums first and get a running game going.
And it's one thing when you're taking over for somebody who maybe didn't do well, but
yeah, right.
You know, Chris Brown, the quarterback. Oh, look at the ball bouncing inbounds, and Long has to pick it up at the 10. Looked like it was going out of bounds. Across the 20, Long able to get it up to about the 22 or so, but looked like the ball was going to bounce out of bounds, and it hit right near the sideline and bounced the other way.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's no hard spots in this field. It's in perfect condition. The grass is perfect. That ball landed, died, and just bounced about a yard back from where it was going to go out of bounds, and they had to run it. I give him credit, got the ball out as far as he did, the 22-yard line, but a perfect placement on the kick. And they do that, they do tell you. Just try to put it on one side so we can get our coverage just to one side. That one landed right on the turf.
So Saraceno as many completions to the other side as to his own. Looking to improve on that ratio on this drive as the Raiders take over at their own 22-yard line. Saraceno has to run it. Didn't want to. A happy feet back there, but the Blue Devils were coming. And they brought him down after a short gain. Devon Douglas with the tackle, among others.
Yeah, they sent the linebacker. They sent 6 guys, and he just did not have time to find him. That's the whole point of the blitz. Usually your backs are therefore in man coverage, and you hope that nobody gets beat, but the idea is you take the risk that he's not going to have time to see anybody. Don't forget he's 5'9", and when they get back there and get in his face, it makes it difficult for their quarterback to find a receiver. So they've been sending 5 and 6 guys every play.
LaMonica, good gain here for LaMonica across the 30, close to the first down, and it looks like he has it out to the 33. And their best running play of the afternoon.
There was one of a worst block, too, because it was worst to block. Watch number 77. He pulls right here. Perfect. Sealed it off. See how he sealed it? Let him get to the outside, and a nice job of running. Got the first down, but a worst block. Set it up.
Jeremy Worst. I see what you're saying now. Sorry about that. It took me a while.
Yeah.
Jeremy Worst leading the way. Twin brother of Josh. And Ray LaMonica. 100 yards last year. He has 5 100-yard games in his career, so he's got the ability. And that pass a little short to Kenny Parker on 1st and 10. Kenny Parker out of Stratford, New Jersey, making his first career start. He was a running back last year. Pressed into action on the wide receiver corps. As we mentioned, they lost Luke Graham, all-time leading pass catcher here at Colgate. Played his high school ball here in Hamilton as well. So strange not to see Luke Graham here in Hamilton today. But again, got Dwayne Long back for a 6th year. And it's just the other wide receiver that they're worried about right now. And here's Parker. Got the catch. Nice move. First down. Close to midfield. Right on the 50. Well, Markham just short of the 49. So Kenny Parker picking his way up the middle.
Well, when you get a blitz like that, those guys are backing off. The defensive backs and the linebackers that aren't blitzing are backing off, and they hit the quick slant. Watch. Right here. Not a quick slant, but a little bit of a slant anyway. And he got it underneath the coverage and then turned it up, did a nice job of running. But they've been sending 6 guys every play. There's the slant, and he made a nice move. He took Rob McGuire, a linebacker from Central Connecticut, and faked him out.
Call that a lethargic slant or not so quick slant?
A delayed slant, I guess.
Monica up the middle, tough running. And he is buried under by the Blue Devils. Corey Tucker, among others, in on the tackle. And we've already been saying Corey Tucker's name all afternoon, number 6. He was the National Player of the Week in 1AA football last year. Against Marist, all he did was pile up 12 tackles, 3 of them for a loss, and he also returned an interception for a touchdown. Look at the numbers for Corey from last year. Second and about 6. Ball comes loose, and it's recovered by the Blue Devils. Devon Douglas falls on the football right at the 50-yard line. And Saraceno, that option play just never went anywhere.
One of the things we've said and we've talked about other games we've done, anytime you run an option, the thing that kills you is penetration. And you see the penetration right there soon. The idea is to cut that down. You can option block the tackle, but if he makes penetration right there, that's the penetration. Number 91 from Central Connecticut was in there first. Terry Dunn, 6'3", 210 out of Norwich. He's the guy that caused all that to happen. Of course, fumble recovered by number 74, but Douglas, but 91, the guy who set it up. Oh, fullback.
Big hole up the middle for Morrison into the secondary and across the 30 inside the 20-yard line. And a big pop on the running play right up the middle. And Morrison really exploded through the hole.
You know, when you run the option like they did right there, the guy that usually has to set you up is the fullback, and people after a while they ignore the fullback. They're worried about the pitch, who's got the quarterback, who's got the pitch man, and oftentimes they forget about the fullback, and he rode the fullback up, but he didn't ride it. He gave him the ball, and Morrison, 5'8", 170, he took it right up the gut.
And a 5-yard average last year for the Blue Devils, the second leading rusher on that team last year. And a first down right at the 20-yard line. Sheard's going to throw. Has to get rid of it. Got a man out there. Right at the 10. Close to another first down, JoJo Freeman. And Sheard did a good job of floating that one out there.
He's very athletic. And you're going to see he gives the fake with the left hand, comes back, avoids the trouble. And right there is JoJo Freeman. The thing is, what kind of pattern? It was a scramble pattern. And they chased him out of the pocket, so it's very difficult to pick everybody up. And he's able to scramble. That's a real key in this quarterback scheme. It's the ability to run, scramble, and make good decisions. And Sheard's done a good job.
And a first and goal now at the 9-yard line. Still looking for our first touchdown of the afternoon. Blitz coming. Dollar got in there. Sheard gets away. And Sheard's going to run it. Gets down to about the 5-yard line before he's run out of bounds by Jared Neppa. Well, Zach Dollar was coming on, and Sheard just gave him a little shoulder, and there he went.
You could see him coming, too. He really was going after him. And then, see, that's what I talked about, that ability to scramble. Now, all the people are running different patterns. Everything was going to the right. Now it's coming back to the left. He tucks the ball in, gets down inside the 5, and that's what a scrambling quarterback will do. You're probably too young to remember Fran Tarkenton.
Oh, come on. He was my hero.
Yeah, man.
I'm a big Viking fan.
He was a scrambler, wasn't he?
Absolutely. A big Francis fan. University of Georgia.
Got to Morrison.
Morrison trying his luck. Got about to the 3-yard line. David Wesleyan on the tackle for Colgate. As the Raiders look to force a field goal try. Now 3rd and goal from about the 3.
Morrison down real low. Sheard just turns around and hopes the hole opens. It does. Filled quickly there by Colgate. That was a nice fill. 52 up there quickly. David Wesley, junior out of DuPont, Pennsylvania. Nice fill.
3rd and goal from the 3. You got a mobile quarterback who loves to roll it out. See what they do here. A little option play. He'll pitch it. Freeman, one man to beat. Touchdown, but a flag comes down.
Yeah,
could have a block in the back.
Well, the wide receiver's job on that option is to go out and just screen block. And what happened was he got his hands up, and it was right in front of the official. And it was a no-brainer as far as the call was concerned.
Holding. Number 83 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Remains 3rd down.
And David Gilmore at the end, watch him, you're going to see right there with the hands in the back. Could have been a hold, could have been a hands in the back.
And Cody Williams was the last man between Freeman and the end zone, and Coach Masella giving Gilmore, a freshman, nice pat on the helmet. He knew what he was trying to do.
Right.
So a 3rd and goal now, back at the 11.5-yard line.
Trips, 5 defensive backs in. No, 4 defensive backs. I got a linebacker in there. I'm sorry. See, timeout.
We'll let it go this time.
Thank you.
Central Connecticut calls a timeout. And they'll talk it over. Their 2nd timeout of the first half as they look to punch this one in, but now they're back at the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. We come back to Hamilton. Central Connecticut State Blue Devils have the lead and threatening to add to it here with 10 minutes left in the first half. The rushing yards heavily in the Blue Devils' favor. Marquise Morrison broke a big one. Right now, 3rd and goal from about the 11-yard line. Sheard to the end zone. Corner and out of bounds was the intended receiver. As a flag comes down, we'll see what the penalty's about. The Blue Devils are celebrating.
You run that fade, that timing pattern that tried to take the timing off by jamming the receiver in.
And interference as the receiver was jammed a little bit too far downfield.
Interference. Number 27 on the defense. By rule, the ball is placed on the 2-yard line. First down.
Well, Dick Biddle, his expression never really changes, but I don't think he's happy about that one.
Yeah, the chuck occurred long before that.
Cody Williams, the sophomore out there, making his first start. And there's Cody, and he'll try and redeem himself for that as it's now 1st and goal for the Blue Devils at the 2. There's Freeman, met at the 1. David Wesley.
Wow, that's the second big stick he's had in this drive. Wesley up with a nice one. 6 foot, 229 pounder. Really read that.
Let's take another look at that one as Wesley met him at the 1.
And a little motion. Oh, man. That was an audio. That was a great audio. Sound bite.
Yeah, we like that. And they'll try it again. This time Sheard will try and dive forward, and he's in. Touchdown, Central Connecticut.
Good plays. You know, they use one to set up the other, and that was a great play. Say, all right, they've been running this guy. They're going to run a blast, and then the quarterback keeps it and reaches over and gets the touchdown. And Sheard.
The Sheard fan club is on its feet right down below us. Tim Sheard, Syracuse native, scores the first touchdown of this game. They give the Blue Devils a 9-point lead. Extra point coming now from Pearson, who's made 2 long field goals this afternoon. And the extra point is blocked by the Raiders. So maybe he should have moved it back 20 yards.
I think that one, the laces were toward the kicker. I was just watching that. It looked like they didn't get that spun around. They tried to get you the ball, have the holder spin it, but I don't think it would have made much difference. A little bit of a penetration problem.
So the Colgate Raiders, somewhat of a moral victory. They blocked the extra point, but they still trail by 9. Two-yard touchdown run by Tim Sheard has given Central Connecticut State a 12-3 lead. The Blue Devils have scored the last 12 points in this game, and take a little look at that run from down low.
Get a good look right from the end zone. Sheard looks like he's going to ride the man, and then he just says, you know what, there's a space right there, and he dives up and over. Tim Sheard doing a wonderful job of running this team.
You know, he, as we said, at Corcoran a few years back, he really did it all for the Cougars. A point guard on the basketball team, quarterback of the football team, and just a heady player. You know, a lot of mobility out there and makes good decisions. He has thrown an interception today, but he's bounced back from that with a couple of scoring drives off turnovers by Colgate. 7 plays, 50 yards that last one, and he caps it off himself. And now a short kick. Parker, look out, it's loose, and it bounces back, and the Blue Devils have it. Bounce right back into the hands of Blair Smart, a freshman, and a pretty smart move. And how about the bounces on the kickoffs they've got today?
They've done a nice job of putting that ball down. I'll tell you, I don't know, this might have been luck. Obviously, it bounced back, but you see why it's important to get those big guys downfield. And then he put the ball in a spot where at least you can make a play for it instead of trying to, because he knows he's not.
Look at the backspin there.
If you're not going to kick it out of the end zone, you might as well try to put it someplace where you can keep it on the ground and put it in play.
That looked like a Phil Mickelson approach to a green, and he spun it back right into his own guy's hand. So that's something I haven't seen yet. And Morrison up the middle, and right now the Raiders really have to get back on their feet. Giving up 12 consecutive points. Jared Nepa comes up a little slow there.
Well, he's active on every play. He's just playing all over the place. Patron helped make that stop, but Nepa will assist on every tackle that he can get his helmet into.
Well, he doesn't look quite right out there, but he stays out there, the co-captain, trying to rally this Raider defense that suddenly cannot stop the Blue Devils. 2nd and 8. Sheard in trouble. Got rid of it. Freeman couldn't come up with it. See if they call it a forward pass. They do, and it's incomplete.
You have to be careful with those sometimes.
Close to being a lateral, but they call it an incomplete pass. Big break there for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, made by Zach Dollars, 81. Did a nice job of penetrating. Listed as a linebacker, but he comes after the quarterback against Central Connecticut on this play. Watch 81. He's going to be coming right there, and he makes sure to get rid of the ball. And he was looking for Freeman and didn't get it. 3rd and long.
It's a very proud defense for Colgate. A lot of seniors out there. Trying to hold the line right here. Big 3rd down coming. Sheard under pressure again, gets rid of it. Near sideline, out of bounds at the 15. Looks like it's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down. Catch made by Steve Brzeski. Brzeski, a senior, probably should have gone about another yard farther. A yard or two short.
Looking at it, he's running to his left and throwing with the right hand and puts it right where Brzeski can at least make a play on it. I don't think Brzeski could have gotten much anyway. He had to really concentrate. Not one of those perfect spirals, but very effective. And we set up for a guy who maybe didn't think he was going to be this busy. That's Derek Pearson, the kicker, who's had 2 long field goals. And
he's hit from 48 and 42 yards. This one from 32. Kick is down, snap is down rather, and it is up and good again. And Pearson, perfect on the field goal tries, 3 for 3. His only extra point was blocked. And now a 15-3 lead. Central Connecticut State rolling off 15 in a row. Off turnovers.
Yeah, the turnovers have just killed Colgate. They haven't been able to generate. You know, you need a rhythm. And when you get out of rhythm, you know that what turned out to be an onside kick, that just kills you. Now you got no rhythm. We got the offense. We're all set to go. We've talked about it. And then bingo, you get a mistake like that or some luck, and it's very difficult to bounce back. So they're going to have to get their defense, their offense, come out here and have a nice drive. They got a lot of time. Let's get the offense back in sync.
Well, speaking of rhythm, we're in a rhythm here at Time Warner Sports, and we are underway in the field hockey season. Starting up, 7 o'clock start Tuesday night as RFA and Liverpool get together. Couple of sectional finalists from a year ago. 7 o'clock Tuesday night here at Time Warner Sports. You know, the Colgate Raiders just haven't had the football in a long time.
That's the point. And you got to tell your up guys, too, watch the ball. He's been putting it in spots where we aren't.
And he's putting spin on it. Well, the other one was going right to the out-of-bounds marker and bounced back the other way. And a strange-looking spin on that one, too. Here's Long across the 30. Long spins, and he's taken down out across the 35, about the 37-yard line. Good field position for the Raiders. Still a lot of time here in the first half.
All they need is a nice touchdown drive.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's all they need. It sounds so easy.
I know, it does sound easy, but what I'm saying is I think psychologically they really have to go down there and get some points on the board and not go 3 and out or turn the ball over that quickly as they have with the interceptions.
Mike Saraceno coming out. He's thrown a couple of interceptions. And also the fumble that set up the last scoring drive for Central Connecticut. And Saraceno would like to get things going the other way. Under pressure, got rid of it right at the 43-yard line and out of bounds for the completion. And they picked up about 6 on the play. That was Ben Evans, the fullback, out in the pattern.
Well, when they're blitzing, they're sending 5 or 6 guys, if you can afford to not use the fullback or just send your running back out, they did. Got a good positive yardage, about 6-7 yards. But, you know, he is pretty short. I'm looking out there at Mike Saraceno. What they got to do is they roll him out a lot because it's hard to stay in that pocket and see over those big guys when they come in there.
Well, that's the thing. His offensive line, the shortest guy is 6'2".
Yeah.
So he really does. And a big hole up the middle. Across the 45-yard line, Steve Hansen exploding through the hole, and that offensive line that time opened up a large gap down to the 44-yard line of Central Connecticut.
Nice job of blocking right there. You can see they really got some shoulders on people. 75, Ryan Hall leading the way, the offensive lineman.
Out of West Hill High School in Syracuse. And I'm sure the Hall family is here in force. And a first down for the Raiders, much needed at the 44. Here's Hansen again. Ryan Hansen getting some carries, and I talked to Coach Biddle yesterday about the running back situation, as Jamal Branch, we mentioned, is no longer here. And Ray LaMonica would be the incumbent as a leading rusher on this team in 2002 before Branch arrived, but he wasn't real definite on that. He said LaMonica's the starter for now, but we'll see how it goes. And right now, Ray Hansen getting some carries, and LaMonica over on the sidelines taking a look. He didn't want to go running back by committee, though, said Coach Biddle. Hasn't had a lot of success with that here, so he wants to find somebody. And right now, Hansen's getting the ball. Saraceno throwing on second down. Good game out to the 36-yard line, a couple yards short of the first down. It's Evans again. And the fullback, a couple of catches in this one. He had 13 catches last year. Pretty good receiver for the big guy.
Nichols, 44 from Central Connecticut, in the backfield a lot. He's a linebacker. They send a lot of people. He's up on the, as a defensive end type and backs off and plays linebacker, but he has given them some fits there. He's been inside the last 2 plays in a row. Fortunately, they've snuck the back out behind him, and he's caught the spot between the corner and the linebacker. He's just an end. Here he comes again, 44.
And now Evans getting the carry, and he is met by Nichols as he gets across the 35, close to the first down. Just inside the 34. It looks like he's got it from here. We'll see where they spot the football.
Evans taking himself out.
And they are going to call it a first down for Colgate. So Evans, a couple of catches, and now a 2-yard rush for the first down, and a well-deserved break for Big Ben. Pretty good drive going here for Colgate. Under 6.5 to go here in the first half as they look to get some more points on the board before halftime. First and 10 for Saraceno. Hansen again. Hansen, big hole, nice cut. Down to about the 22, and another first down.
Todd Mulligan, nice block. They've got the rush end, the linebacker, 44 Nichols, and number 7, he did a nice job of picking him up and making the block. Todd Mulligan. And then paving the way, nice block also, 77, Jeremy Wurst. His twin brother plays defense, so they're starting to grind the ball out and push this defensive front off the ball a bit, which is what they needed to do.
Well, we were talking to Bob Cornell, the SID here at Colgate before the game, and he was talking about how Coach Biddle is excited about his last 2 recruiting classes. And Steve Hansen, part of the most recent one, freshman running back out of Orlando, Florida. Colgate's had quite a few players from the Sunshine State up here. Of course, Chris Brown, who was quarterback here last year, was from Florida.
Saraceno?
Saraceno's from Florida. Hansen also from the Sunshine State. And so Steve Hansen right now, the young freshman, making the most of his opportunity. Leading the Raiders down the field. It's 2nd and 7 from the 18. 2nd and a long 6, we'll call it. Hansen again slips a tackle. Hansen slips another one inside the 5-yard line. And Steve Hansen, not a big guy, 5'9", 185, but he's slippery.
I think they were listening to us about the run game. Nice block by Dwayne Long downfield. The offensive line sealed everybody off. Watch Long, 19 right there. What a terrific job of blocking on Benson. And he knows it. He did a great job, and that's what receivers do. You know what? You don't just catch the ball. The passing game's not going. Get your butt out and block somebody. He did a nice job.
And a first and goal for the Raiders. And a whistle as Ben Evans takes it right up the middle. Looks like movement, a full start.
Yeah.
84 on the offense. Ball start. 5 yards, first down.
See, those are some killers too. It's not a lot of yardage, but it's just you had the thing going, you know, and you're gonna get a good look here. See a little bit of a movement. And the defense moved.
Their first move backwards on this drive. Best drive of the day for Colgate. And just when they needed it. Coach Biddle talking about his run of success here. 9 straight winning seasons That 15-1 season a couple years ago, almost a curse though. People come to expect that now every year, and it overshadows some of the rest of the success he has had as Hansen is buried on 1st and goal from the 9 or so. He got about a yard. You go 15-1, and then suddenly 9-3 or 8-4 isn't enough anymore for some people.
Play got jammed up there and tried to go to the outside, and they really pursued well, pushed it back inside, and they said they didn't pick up much. They got 7 to go for a touchdown.
Well, they gave him the 7-yard line, 2nd and goal from there, under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Saraceno keeps it, and he lost a couple yards. In the backfield, Brian Sullivan, tackle for a loss. He led the team in that category last year. Picks up a big one there. It'll be 3rd and goal.
You're going to try to do the pass. Just rolls out right, but just too much right there. I didn't see who made the penetration right
Sullivan.
there. There you go, Sullivan, yes. 32.
From Hopewell Junction, New York. And now 3rd and goal from the 9. Raiders having trouble punching it in this afternoon. Their 3rd time inside the 20. Let's see if they can cash in this time. Saraceno, nowhere to go. He's going to get down to about the 5, but out of bounds. Inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal from there. And the field goal unit coming out for the Raiders. So the Blue Devils, when their backs are to the wall, they have stood tall now 3 times.
Well, that penetration, they've had it. When they get down there to goal line, everything kind of closes down. You don't have the linebackers are closer, the defensive backs are closer, and they just haven't had the time and the ability to push that in. But they look good getting down there. Let's see if they can get something out of this offensive series.
21-yard attempt right through the uprights for Mike Rava. So Rava 2 for 2 in the field goal department. But the Raiders have to settle for 3 again. Their 3rd trip into scoring position, and a couple of field goals to show for it with just under 3 minutes to play here in the first half.
But they played like the old Colgate that we've seen offensively running that football. They had great blocking, and just when they got down in the red zone, they had that little penalty, and that 5 yards kind of killed them. But they've really, I thought, looked good. They had the running backs going. They're passing the ball to number 40 to Evans. And then he took himself out, and then Steve Hansen came in and ran the ball well. So I think they've found some combinations. Don't forget, this is the first game of the year, and they're still looking to see what's going to work. All they've been doing is playing against each other. So I think it'll be a good second half. They still got 2:59 left in this one, though.
Well, Steve Hansen, really, they talk about good running backs. When you talk about good running backs, they always say they run downhill. And you can really see that with Hansen. Once he gets the ball, it looks like he's going downhill. He's got 53 yards already in this game. High school football to tell you about. Friday night, we'll be at Jordan Elbridge for South Jeff and JE. That's a 7 o'clock kick right here on Time Warner Sports. And the start of a big weekend here. College football doubleheader the following day. It's that time of year again. Doesn't really feel like it today, but it is football season again, and a big kick that time. Taken at the 6-yard line by Smith. Got across the 25, and the Blue Devil offense back on the field. They have produced the last 3 times they've had the football. Let's see if Tim Sheard has another drive in him with 2:52 to go here in the first half.
Well, he has been the difference, I would say, right there is his ability to scramble, his ability to throw on the run, and then make something out of nothing. He's just been a real nemesis for Colgate.
And his confidence has grown just in the last quarter and a half or so since the interception. Made some big plays out there, including the touchdown run from 2 yards out. Working with a 9-point lead now as he keeps it up the middle for a short gain. Casano, Brent Smith in on the tackle. Coming up at halftime, we're going to talk about the relief efforts here at Colgate. We mentioned it in the open. We'll talk with the president of Colgate University to find out how the Raiders are chipping in to help out the victims of Hurricane Katrina. Just incredible, Dale, this week to see that all develop down south. And certainly our best wishes for things to start going well down there. JoJo Freeman going to take it up the middle now. Freeman, nice moves on his feet. Still on his feet across the 40. Gets up to the 42. JoJo Freeman. Happy feet there. Tough to bring him down. Kept him chopping.
Yeah, watch him. Left, right, left, right. You know, those are those drills you do. They used to use tires. I'm sure they don't use them anymore, but that's the deal. You know, get your feet up, be able to move them back and forth through the karaoke drill. That's exactly what it's for.
Yeah, I don't think they have tires though anymore. I think that's old school.
You think so?
I think it's all ball bearings these days.
Yeah, right. Computers.
First and 10 across the 40. Here's Morrison. The tough yardage up the middle as we go under 1:45 to play. And the Blue Devils not really in any hurry. They've got one timeout remaining.
22, Marquise Morrison, sideline 78, 50 Crone, and 67, Jeff Gillespie.
Talk about that multiple offense when we talk to coaches. All they would tell me is, well, we run a lot of different things. I can understand why. They run a lot of spread. They run an option. They run a lot of different things.
They didn't want to tell you anything. They didn't want to tell you how to pronounce the kid's name, did they?
No.
Well, it's all about keeping your stuff secret these days, no matter what level of football you're on. 2nd and 9, trick play here. Smith, the end around, and the Raiders weren't fooled at all. Good play out there by Chris Williams, who's got the interception in this game for the Raiders, and a big loss on the play. And also a flag on the play as well.
See him trying to get outside, but a classic tackle there. Lifted him up, brought him down, stopped the leg drive. That's the important thing. Stop the leg drive. That's why you have to get low.
Formation on the offense. Only 5.
Enough guys in the line of scrimmage.
Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Thanks for filling in there, Dale. They'll decline the penalty and take the loss instead. Back inside their own 40 now to the 39, and a timeout on the field. As Colgate has taken a timeout, trying to get the ball back. 3rd and long upcoming for Central Connecticut State.
Anytime you can force a punt, you figure, you know, you've got to, even if you don't field it, you can try to block the punt. There's a lot of things you can do. So they're taking the timeout, 3rd and long. Hopefully they won't convert if you're Colgate, and then make a punt, and you'll have some time left, but at least you can make a punt.
Well, pretty impressive to see this offense for Central Connecticut State. And they're doing it without not only the quarterback that they graduated, but Corey Harge, their leading running back last year, and guy who was the offensive player of the year in the conference, is still not medically cleared to play or practice for the Blue Devils, so he is not here, and they are going on without him and performing well so far. We're back here again next Saturday, a noon start, Massachusetts and Colgate here at Andy Kerr Stadium, and the start of a doubleheader on Time Warner Sports. It'll be followed by the Orange and the Buffalo Bulls, a 3:30 kick at the Carrier Dome. It's live right here next Saturday on Time Warner Sports 26. And we hope, as I said last night during the high school game here in Hamilton, I hope it's a nice rainy day that day, so that's a good time to sit inside and watch some football. Now 3rd and long, 3rd and 12, we'll call it for Tim Sheard and the Central Connecticut Blue Devils. Rush coming. Sheard got rid of it. Man's down there. And he just couldn't quite catch up. Flag comes down real late. Could be some interference here as Jermaine Roberts was trying to come back to the football and couldn't quite make it. Maybe he was being restrained.
Yeah, we'll see what the call is. It looked like he was trying to get it was late, but the referee was trying to get the flag out of his pocket while he was running. So I don't know what the final call is going to be, but he did look like he wanted to make the call.
He's moving the Raiders back on their sideline.
We have sideline warning on Colgate. Sideline warning on Colgate.
All right, so apparently no interference on the play. A sideline warning against the Raiders. And best news Dick Biddle's heard all day is it's not a first down for the Blue Devils. Instead, they'll apparently have to kick the football, and the Raiders will get it back with another chance to get some points on the board.
And some kind of coaching staff would like to know what that call was, too.
Do they usually throw the flag for that?
Well, they can. That's what and it was, of course, it was right where the pass and the guys were. So maybe somebody said something about and he just threw the flag to warn them that you got to stay back.
Maybe
and be
you ran
quiet.
into somebody going down the sideline.
That's a good point.
Pearson that time, not as good a kick. See what kind of bounce it takes. Another Blue Devil bounce. It's going to roll out of bounds just inside the 21-yard line.
Pearson's earning his money today, isn't he?
He is, in fact. 3 field goals, a couple of long ones, a career long today.
Nice kickoff that they got back.
Yeah, the backspin on the kickoff.
And a nice kickoff, punt here.
That punt didn't look good, but it turned out to be very effective.
I got to believe he's placing, he's trying to put that where it's going to hit. He looks at the coverage, and he put it down there. I got to give him a lot of credit.
I'll give him credit for that. 40 yards on the kick and no return. Mets baseball coming up later tonight here at Time Warner Sports as the Mets visit the Marlins, 6 o'clock, first pitch. And again tomorrow as well. Baseball as well, Major League style on Time Warner Sports. All levels, all sports, all the time. Here's LaMonica. Tripped up as he gets across the 25. And with the field position they got, I think the Raiders are just going to let that clock run down. They are going in the hurry up. LaMonica back on the field, though, as he and Steve Hansen are trading series. Now Saraceno to the air, complete. Parker first down. Out to the 45-yard line. The clock stops as they reset the chains, 15 seconds. Look at Parker's way again. He's got him again. First down. And the clock will stop with 7 seconds as they move the chains up to the 44-yard line, and Colgate will take a timeout.
It's one of those, why didn't they do this?
Well, I thought when they came out with a running play on first down that maybe they were going to
That's their final timeout.
let the clock run down, but a couple of completions later, they're at the 44, 7 seconds to go.
You're going to see him go down. Kenny Parker just does a turn and a little out. Protects the ball, went where he needed to be, right past the first down marker, got driven back, but his progress gave him the first down, and Coach Biddle's got to be satisfied with that. They still would like to get perhaps in field goal range, but it would be awfully, and they have no timeout, so I think it's going to be into the end zone.
Well, we've got time for about one quick play to set up a field goal. They need probably, well, if they get 14 yards, it'll be about a 47-yarder.
And they have no timeout, though. They'd have to really
get it on the sideline and then hurry the team out there. Let's see what they decide to do as they go trips right. Long, Parker. And Saraceno is going to throw it deep into the end zone. Good arm, and he overshot Long. And still 1 second left showing on the clock. Well, Saraceno got it down there 50 yards, no problem, didn't he?
Yeah. I think they were hoping that maybe they could get a pass interference penalty, something like that, but there was double coverage. I'd be looking for Long, too, going long in that play.
Saraceno, Coach Biddle was saying he thinks he's even maybe got a stronger arm than Chris Brown, the quarterback that was here before. He showed it off right there. And they'll try it again right here. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty. Here come the Blue Devils. Saraceno has to get rid of it. Going to be intercepted. Intercepted and out to the 40-yard line by Rob McGuire, and that'll bring the first half to an end. The fourth turnover of the first half, third interception thrown by Saraceno. And from that standpoint, Raiders have to be pretty pleased. They're only trailing 15-6 when you turn it over 4 times.
Well, one of the things they want to do is I'm sure Colgate's going to go in and say, look, we had the running game. We got down there. We had a penalty. It set us off. But let's go down and run the football now. Let's see if we can't get that back. And we're going to wear them down, take some time off the clock, and keep their quarterback sitting on the bench. Offensively, have to have a little confidence going into the locker room, Colgate Raiders, and we'll hear more about that
with the head coach, Dick Biddle, standing by with our Dan Liedtke.
Thank you, Mark. Here with Coach Biddle. Turnovers put you in a tough spot, but that field goal toward the end of the half really gives you a great opportunity in the second half.
Well, it gives us a little momentum. I think we played pretty good defense. They've just been in bad field position, so we just got to come out and not turn the ball over and make a few plays and see what happens.
Just a quick thought on the adjustments you're going to make here at halftime.
Well, I mean, our quarterback's got to calm down a little bit. We can't give the ball up, and our defense has got to stop them on third down because we're going to need a lot of possessions. So I think that's all we need to do.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. We'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Dan and Coach Biddle, as you said, a little momentum going into halftime, but the 17-game home winning streak, longest in 1AA football, in jeopardy right now at halftime. Central Connecticut State a 15-6 lead. Season opener for the Colgate Raiders, and they're trailing on their home field here at halftime, 15-6 to Central Connecticut. Well, we mentioned that this weekend, on opening weekend of college football here at Colgate and at campuses around the country, hurricane relief efforts are underway. And for more on that, let's go downstairs again to Dan Liedtke.
Well, thank you, Mark. I'm here with the president of Colgate University, Rebecca Chop. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. And a horrific week in American history this week with Hurricane Katrina. It's just been really put a strain on our country and maybe the attitude of the country. But this is when disasters happen that people step up and do some great things to try and help the people down there. And Colgate is one of the leaders in that department.
Absolutely. We immediately went to work. We've raised money for the hurricane relief. We'll continue to do so. The Cove, our Center for Outreach, Volunteerism, and Education, established a fund. We've already raised $1,400. Yesterday, our softball team raised $500. We've taken in several students, and we'll talk to others. On Monday, we'll have a meeting with all of our students to plan now a very detailed effort to raise funds and provide other sources of assistance. We'll also be having an interfaith worship service on Monday afternoon. So I think like all Americans right now, we're stepping up to the plate. That's what's great about this country. We're going to help out people in need.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about housing, and you're in a good fortune here where you may have some extra housing if the opportunity presents itself. Would you take some people in and put them on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. They have to work through our admissions department because we want to make sure that we can provide them a very good experience. But we've already had several calls, and we will talk to others. We have 2 students arriving this weekend.
Well, I applaud your efforts. It sets a great example for the community and the people countrywide. But let's talk about some brighter things. You have a great class of kids coming in this year and some great things starting off the school year here.
Right, we just have a spectacular class, brightest academic class we've ever had, and so far we're seeing that they're the most spirited too. Our applications were up by 22% this year, so we had over 8,000 students applying for 730 spaces. So we brought in 730. They are having a wonderful time. We brought in about 40 new faculty members. Faculty is about 280. So those new faculty and the new students will join this tremendous community. We do have some new spaces. We just built a brand new residential complex. It's great. I want everyone to see it. South end of town. They're townhouses. The students apply to live in them in groups of 8 to 16. We asked them to develop a strategic plan for living together because they've got to figure out who does the dishes, etc. But they're just beautiful townhouses.
That's great. You can see the pride of your university in your face. But what makes Hamilton, the town, and then the Colgate, how do they mesh together, and what makes it such a great community?
Well, we really have become partners over the years. I think we work together extremely well. Colgate invests in the community. We've developed a partnership with the community. We've put our bookstore downtown, and today, by the way, at the bookstore, 13%, our lucky number of all the profits will be going to hurricane relief. So we put our bookstore, we've put some offices downtown, we've put up some money so the store owners might fix up the shops. So it's really a good partnership between the town and the gown.
Well, you have a relatively new leader in your athletic department and some great people underneath him. Talk about that department.
Well, it's a great department because we do love our athletics, and I really think Colgate is special. We hear a lot of criticism about how athletics isn't connected to academics across this country. You wouldn't find that true at Colgate. We graduate our athletes at the same rate. We're all very committed to the relationship of the scholar-athlete with the faculty and with the coaches. Most of our coaches are also on the faculty. David Roach, our new athletic director, came to us from Brown University. He's just won the hearts of all of us. He's doing a wonderful job.
That's great. We appreciate your time here Rebecca, and we'll look forward to speaking with you down the road. Enjoy the rest of the game, and hopefully Colgate, a little bit momentum at the end of that half, they can get back in this football game.
Absolutely. Go Gate.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. We'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Dan, and we all know who does the dishes in your household, and that's why you use paper plates, right? Very nice to hear from the president, the relief efforts going on here and at campuses around the country, and I agree with her, Dale. That's, you know, part of what makes this country great and gets us all in the patriotic mood when some of our countrymen, women, and children are in need. Everyone seems to come together and get out their wallets and try to help out.
You couldn't watch that without feeling that you have to do something. And it's nice that the universities around the country, especially, and taking people in, kids in, who are not going to be able to get back to classes. It's a great thing.
Yeah, I understand Tulane University kids are coming up here, and
Yep.
for their sakes, we hope they don't have to spend the winter here. It'll be a shock to their systems, but if they do, it's a beautiful place to be. And as we all know, once you get used to that snow, it's kind of nice. So anyway, relief efforts underway here, and we'll hope the Colgate Raiders can give their fans something to cheer about here in the second half. They went into the locker room with a little momentum, closing the gap to 9 points at halftime as they trail the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut State. Good game here and shaping up to be a good second half. We'll take a look at some highlights when we come back. It's halftime in Hamilton. Colgate Raiders trailing in their season opener 15-6 to Central Connecticut State on a gorgeous afternoon for opening day. And the way it started for Colgate, Dale, well, the Raiders got off to a fast start and have slowed down a little bit since then, but first play of the game for the Raiders looked like things were going to get off and running.
Well, Saraceno fake long pass, long behind the corner, couldn't convert it, and that kind of was a precursor. You see nice step in front interception by number 14, Chris Williams. And then you see a guy who, at the end of the game, the end of the half, Hansen really started high stepping, doing a nice job, and got the running game going. Now the Blue Devils, beautiful pick right there. Number 17 stepped inside Wilson. Fumble recovered by Douglas. And you're going to see Tim Sheard, the quarterback, who's done such a great job not only of passing, running the team, and they're running it in for the touchdown in the first half.
Well, the Central Connecticut offense really seemed to get into a rhythm, and you talked about the rhythm of this game, and the Blue Devils, after struggling through their first few possessions, really started to turn things on and convert it, but neither side's been able to punch it into the end zone. So both defenses doing a good job of holding up once their backs are to the wall.
And, you know, the punting and stuff has been obviously great for Connecticut. Pearson and his kickoffs, they got the ball on a long onside kick. I mean, the ball, we saw it hit, bounce back. That's what happens sometimes. But another thing that took them out of the rhythm, and Colgate offense already to go on, says, nope, defense has got to come back on. So I think that in talking, Coach Biddle talked to Dan, said he wants to get his quarterback calmed down too. Don't forget, this is a new look, this is a new team, and he's a new quarterback, even though he's a senior. This is his first time really controlling everything, and that's got to be a lot of pressure. So I think second half they're going to calm down, and the running game really gelled there. They couldn't punch it in. They had a penalty that kept them back only 5 yards, but ruined, I think, the synchronicity, and then now they've got to get back and get it back.
Well, the Colgate Raiders, as we mentioned, as good as they've been the last few years in season openers under Dick Biddle, they've lost 7 out of 9, and obviously you want your team to get better as the season goes on, but of course you like to start with a win and then work from there. With a lot of young guys taking the place of a lot of veterans, it might take some time. But the trouble is there are no preseason games.
That's right. You have no scrimmages. You have no scrimmages like they do in high school. You know, a lot of teams have lobbied for that. They said there's one rule they'd like to change. They'd like to be able to play somebody local. Have Syracuse scrimmage somebody that's fairly close, or Colgate. But it isn't allowed, so you have to make all your adjustments in your first game.
All right, well, the Colgate Raiders making adjustments as we speak in the locker room. We're at halftime. They're trailing 15-6 on opening day.
Raiders football on Time Warner Sports 26 is brought to you by Cole Muffler and Brake. It's time for a change, a Castrol oil change at your nearby Cole Muffler and Brake Center. By Garden Homes, better, faster, smarter. By Davidson Chevrolet of Rome, our prices are so low, our competition hates us. And by Oneida Savings Bank, your link to a brighter future.
Sun-drenched Andy Kerr Stadium here in Hamilton, New York, where the Colgate Raiders are trailing 15-6 at halftime. But is there a better place to be in Central New York right now?
Not that I can think of.
Can you think of any?
No.
Great place to be, a beautiful stadium here. The grass looks like a golf course down there. You were down there. Is it thick or?
Terrific. Oh yeah, it's thick too. It's nice. It's, you know, it's like everything you'd want your lawn to be, but isn't. It never will be.
Well, maybe trying to slow things up a little bit, keeping the grass long. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats, and Colgate recovering in the rushing yards category late there in the first half.
Yeah, they did. They were at one point, -2, which is very difficult to believe. They ended up with 203 total offense, 157 for the Blue Devils. Obviously, the key 6 and 8 in first downs, but the key, look at that on the turnovers, 5 for Colgate.
5 turnovers, yep, including the kickoff that bounced backwards.
That's a turnover, and the penalties. Although they not a lot of yards, that one that they had when they were in the red zone just before the halftime, and it just, as I say, I think it upset their balance there, and they could have punched it in, but they've got another half to do it. I think the running game looked good, so that they can dictate when they want to pass. Because what happens, Central Connecticut sends a lot of people, and they got them out of that. They were able to make them play, honest defense, not blitz the linebackers because they were running the ball so well.
And they'd like to do it in the red zone. They've moved the ball up and down the field, but Raiders have not been able to punch it in, and the Blue Devils only one time. They've been down there a few times.
I would say Sheard's ability to scramble and throw on the run and find receivers scrambling really puts a lot of pressure on the Colgate defense. And you heard Dick Biddle say, we got to stop them on third down. We put them in third and long and give it up, and that's one of those things that kind of wears on you. And he wants to get back into, let's put them in that situation when they have to punt. But when they punted well and kicked well. So it's been kind of a double-edged sword there for the defense. They've done a good job, but they haven't been able to convert when they give them the ball back to the offense.
Well, the breadsticks are looking pretty good over there. As the youngsters work on those, we'll take one more break and come back with the second half. 15-6, Blue Devils leading the Raiders. Central Connecticut State leads here at halftime, 15-6. Let's go downstairs to Dan Liedtke.
Thank you, Mark. Here with Coach Masella. Coach, your impressions on the first half?
I thought we came out and played the type of half we wanted to. We got a little sluggish in the second quarter. We got to do a better job of defending their run game and keep the intensity up and play as well as we played in the first half as far as the effort's concerned.
Could you tell us a little bit about maybe your plans for the second half, maybe the adjustments you made there?
Well, we have to stop their counterplay, which is a big part, and we made some mistakes up front. We got to clean that up, but really it's a lot of the same, and just play our tails off second half.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. We'll send it back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Coach, for stopping by. Tom Masella, Coach of the Year in the Northeast Conference last year. And the Blue Devils, a good first half here. Not as many points as maybe they'd like. Had an extra point blocked. 3 field goals and a touchdown. And now looking down there, I see Tim Sheard talking to maybe it looks like his younger brother down just behind the bench for Central Connecticut State. So Tim Sheard enjoying a little homecoming treat here. And he has enjoyed a good first half. Coach Biddle trying to keep that 17-game home winning streak alive. I'm sure that's probably the last thing on his mind right now, but
yeah, right. Definitely the last.
He's,
oh gosh, 17.
I really hope we can keep that going.
Right. Let me get that on a piece of paper I got in my pocket.
There's a summary of the first half drives for the Blue Devils. As you see, they started to put things together. Turnovers helped them out there. Field goal, touchdown, right in the middle of that. And then for the Colgate Raiders, toward the end of the first half, they were able to go 11 plays and kick the field goal, but a lot of turnovers there. 3 interceptions, a fumble, and also a kickoff that wasn't covered. And lucky to be down only 9 when you look at that. Andre Smith takes the opening kickoff of the second half across the 20, and the Blue Devils will set up shop.
Nice bust in there by Zach Dollar for Colgate. Crunching up the wall and making the way for somebody to make a tackle, but sacrificing the body. Tim Sheard steps out on the field after talking to a relative down there, right in front of the back of the bench in front of us.
And he was talking to somebody younger than he and looked like a cousin or a brother, also wearing a Sheard jersey from back in his Corcoran days. He's got to get him a couple Central Connecticut Sheard jerseys without the name on them. JoJo Freeman, nice cutback, and Freeman getting a block from Sheard. He's across midfield. Jeff Bean finally rides him down at the 44-yard line, but Freeman, a nice cutback, and Sheard was leading the way.
They had him in the backfield. Unfortunately, look at this. Watch. Here's the pitch. It's supposed to go right there. Dollar goes by him. He stops. Good presence of mind as he just takes off. Sheldon Dennis.
On the tackle, it was Jeff Bean.
Bean, okay.
Making the tackle, and Tim Sheard was out there leading the way, so a big pickup. And again, our first half started with a big play. Colgate Raiders, and now it's the Blue Devils' turn. They break a big one. And Sheard going for more. Got his man at the 25 and down another first down. Tackle made by Andrew Moore, but Richard Wallace, his first catch of the season, his fourth career catch for the senior. And a big gainer again in 2 plays, and they're already at the 25.
Just not able to cover and get down and get on, make a play on the ball. They're there after the catch. Andrew Moore made the stop.
So a 35-yard gain, followed by another big gain. And quickly, just a minute into the second half, the Blue Devils are threatening again. Here's Morrison trying to follow his blockers, but the Raiders swarming to the football, and they drag him down right at the line of scrimmage. I don't know who they give that tackle to. You could pick about 5 guys, but Dollar was in there, along with Brent Smith.
Yeah, Dollar and Smith. It just got real tough in there, real fast. A lot of maroon jerseys on there. They're running a spread formation and then running the ball right up the gut.
No gain, 2nd and 10. As Chris Patron gets ready for more.
Option formation.
And there it is. Good call, Coach, but Sheard brought down for a loss. And I guess the Raiders must have seen it too. Coming up to make the play from the secondary is Cody Williams.
Ran a short side option, the short side of the field, which kind of fences you in a little bit anyway, but they did a nice job of stringing out. There's the fake to the fullback, and then good job of tracking down the quarterback as Rustlin made the tackle along with number 27, Cody Williams.
A freshman and a sophomore combining to make the tackle as the youth of the Raiders starting to get their feet under him. 3rd and 11 after a loss of 1. Sheard flushed out. Got about 5 before he's ridden out of bounds by Galletley. Short of the first down, got to about the 20. Field goal range for Pearson, and out he comes again. Derek Pearson, 3 for 3 this afternoon in the field goal department and trying to make it 4. They'll put this one down. Looks
21.
like about the
22.
Keep going back. I think it's going to be about the 29.
Oh, is it? Okay, you're right.
So it'll be a 39-yard attempt. He's hit from 48 and 42 this afternoon. And 32. And from 39, oh, Williams got in there. A low kick. Wasn't blocked, but could have affected Pearson as he really didn't get his foot on the ball. Chris Williams came around the end untouched. Just about had the block, but kick never had a chance as it was.
Yeah, it didn't look good, did it? Not like he has kicked so far.
That's kind of like a shank. They compare it to a golf swing, and that one he's going to be thinking about for a while. Still 15-6, Blue Devils. Well, the Colgate Raiders hold on defense on the opening possession of the second half. Blue Devils come up empty. Colgate takes over at its own 22-yard line, looking to continue the offensive momentum they had late in the second quarter. Now we'll see if the Blue Devil defense can do something about that. Steve Hansen comes back in at tailback. Freshman out of Orlando, Florida, had 53 yards in the first half. And he'll get the ball on first down. Hansen really bursts across the line of scrimmage, doesn't he? Got across the 25, about 4 yards on first down.
That is 240-pound fullback leading the way on a lead block. And leading the way, picked up about 4 yards. So they just went to a little toss and had number 40, Ben Evans, leading the way. And Hansen, I like the way he runs.
Yeah, I don't know what his 40 time is, but he looks fast to me. He really gets ahead of steam going quickly. And now the fake this time to Hansen. Saraceno's got some room to operate. Got a block out front, got the first down. Across the 35 and leading the way, Jake Solofsky. The junior center, he was voted the offensive MVP for the Raiders this spring.
Faked that, he talked about stopping the counter, and what he did was he faked the counter and he kept the ball, and Saraceno got good yardage. He's not gonna break that, but all he needs to do is make the sticks move, and he just did. So a nice play, as Central Connecticut said, we got to stop that counter, and Saraceno ran the fake counter and held on to it himself.
And a good job waiting for Solofsky to lock up his man and open the hole. Now here's Evans trying to make his own hole, and nothing doing. He lost a yard. Corey Tucker again in the backfield.
Yep. Tucker is he plays real tough. Number 6. He's getting some help from his mates there. Scott Parsons, 56. There's Tucker, leading tackler.
And well on his way to doing that again here in week 1.
Yep, leading tackler from last year as a junior.
2nd and 11 for the Raiders. Saraceno takes off, and he's got some more room. Makes one guy miss. Got across the 40. A big gain there. Got about 6 or 7. And it'll be 3rd down. So Saraceno now showing some mobility, much like Sheard on the other side.
Yeah, they ran a little 4-3, the defense, and they're going to stunt the linebackers, and he got outside. They thought they had him. He made a nice little cutback. And I'll tell you one thing, Central Connecticut plays a lot of people. They're fresh. They got a lot of defensive people. They ask them to do a lot. They ask them to go 110% get in that backfield every play, but they also replace them a lot, so it's good to have depth.
Looking for their first 3rd down conversion of this game. 3rd and 5 from the 41. Got his man, Dwayne Long, 1st down. A good start for Mike Saraceno out of the halftime break. And a couple of 1st downs. Now they're out to the 47.
We heard what Coach Biddle said. Coach Biddle said the first thing we got to do is calm our quarterback down, and obviously they got him calmed down. He's a good athlete, obviously, good player. Just needed to get the jitters out.
Let's head downstairs. Dan Liedtke's got a special guest.
Thank you, Mark. Here with Dave Roach, the athletic director from Colgate. Boy, you couldn't drop a better atmosphere for college football than right here.
Well, this is the best Central New York. Great day, great weather. Now we're just going to get it going, put a few more points on the board.
Got some other exciting things going on in fall sports, a busy time of year. Can you tell us about those other sports?
Yeah, our women's soccer team is picked to win the Patriot League title. Had a couple of preseason injuries that have kind of give us a little bit of a hiccup to get going, but things should be real well. Field hockey's going to be off to a great start. And in men's soccer, we got Eric Ronning, a Colgate alum, taking over our program from Mike Doherty. Volleyball under Jenna Panettiere looks to be pretty strong this year. So we're excited about everything here in the fall.
Well, we'll pull hard here for the Raiders in the 3rd quarter. Get back in this game. We appreciate your time, Dave.
Thank you very much, and all the great things you do for us.
We'll send it back upstairs.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Dave. Dave Roach, really, truly a great guy. Saraceno tried to run, and the knee went down, and that means you're down in college football. Lost about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 10, but Dave Roach, Daryl Gross, get some real great guys leading athletic departments here in Central New York. Guys that are full of positive energy. You look at Saraceno, lost his footing there. And lost a yard as well.
I don't know if that might have been a busted play. I don't know. He made the fake and made the little pivot, but his knee went out. So it puts him down 3rd and long, and of course that puts you now they know they're going to come after you.
Well, they converted their last one. Let's see if they can do it from 3rd and 10, and picked off by Tucker. Tucker just has to get past Saraceno. He does. Inside the 10, Tucker scores. We talked about his big play ability, and Tucker has shown it again. Interception for a touchdown, and what a turn of events.
I thought for sure they were going to dunk that out and that was going to be a 1st down, but number 6 stepped up and took that ball right out of the air. Watch it right here.
Boy, he smithed it out right away, didn't he? He knew it was coming.
Yep, right there. The ball was intended for the fullback, Evans, and they've turned what could have been a 1st down for Colgate into a touchdown. for Central Connecticut.
And you know Tucker would have heard about it if the quarterback brought him down, and then he had an offensive lineman trying to run him down. So Tucker, a lot of pride just to get into the end zone.
What's up, Mom?
He needs a couple of extra breaths. The extra point is muffed. Snap really never got back to the holder. That was kind of goofy looking, so the extra point team needs some work. 0 for 2 in that department, but Central Connecticut State now 15-point lead after a 47-yard interception return for a touchdown from Corey Tucker. He had one of those last year against Marist, as we mentioned.
Number 84 on the offense. By rule, that penalty is declined.
All right, well, Coach Masella's got something to talk to his guys about, despite the 21-6 lead.
Well, the kicking game just gone to pot.
Yeah, you know, it's always something.
Yeah.
But a big play from Corey Tucker, and he kind of hid behind a guy who's 6'5". Very heady play for the senior, and he's given the Blue Devils a 2-touchdown lead. Back at Andy Kerr Stadium, the home team trailing now by 2 touchdowns, exactly 7 minutes into the second half. And we'll take another look at how Corey Tucker kind of slid himself in behind 6'5" Jeremy Wurst. And Mike Saraceno never saw him until it was too late. And then Jake Solofsky, good effort here trying to catch up. But Tucker able to get it into the end zone.
Wow.
Parker takes the kick into his own end zone and now comes back out. And he's across the 20. And not much more than that. Brought down on the play by Josh Roth. And the Raiders back on offense, and they were moving it a little bit there. And then disaster struck. 6th turnover of the game. 4 interceptions now thrown by Saraceno. And the Raiders in a 2-touchdown hole.
Yeah, anytime you have that many turnovers, it's very difficult, to say the least, to pull out a win. And they had some momentum going, as you said, and just ball, as you say, hidden behind. Worst popped out and went up in the air, made an athletic move.
Here's Evans, for whom the previous pass was intended, and he was open if they could have gotten it over Corey Tucker's hands. And Evans takes it up the middle for about 3. Keith Pratt on the tackle for the Blue Devils. And I still am not sure if it's the Blue Devil defense or the Colgate offense that's, you know what I'm saying? If it's great defense or not so great offense. Obviously the turnovers have hurt the Raiders. Fake to Hansen, now throw to Evans, first down and more. Evans hurdles a tackler and out across the 45. Well, a big fella, boy, once he gets ahead of steam going, get out of the way.
241 pounds.
And I think that's a little conservative.
Yeah. Well, they ran the little fake in the line, and they dragged him out underneath the formation. He got a nice block there. I didn't see who made that block. But there's the big guy. 3 receptions, 31 yards.
Man, he just looks like a fullback, huh? Some guys are just born to be a fullback. Ben Evans is one of them. And Big Ben has it across to the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Hansen caught in the backfield and dropped. Scott Parsons.
He's been active.
Loss of 6 or 7 on the play. And Hansen also comes up hurting.
And looked like a little counter, and then just the penetration. You see the blue jerseys in there. It's hard to run those plays that don't hit quickly when there's guys in the backfield.
Scott Parsons, Kennebunk, Maine, his hometown. And now a 2nd and 16. Saraceno's going to run it again. Only got about 3 of it back. The 3rd and long upcoming.
See, now this is where they were the last time when they looked like they were going to get it. And if they don't, they're going to be back out there playing defense again. Let's see what they can come up with. Coach Biddle looking in the playbook, come up with something here.
I think you have to get the ball to Dwayne Long a little bit more often in some space.
Yeah.
They tried him on the first play of the game and connected for 66 yards. He's one of their big home run threats. That's really been his biggest play of the game so far. Saraceno looking for Parker. Good catch and a first down. That was a big play and a great catch by Parker as Stephon Benson was all over him. Parker able to bring it in.
I was watching Long. They didn't do anything special with him. I mean, it wasn't like they doubled him. They just kind of watched him go through the formation, see him out there, and then they just had him coming back.
You talk about a tough throw, throwing one way and
coming back
running the other.
Yep, very difficult. And a nice grab, and that sets up Parker, sets up his team for first down inside the territory of the Blue Devils.
Another catch for Parker and a first down, and another loss now on first down. As Saraceno taken down at the 45. Parker with 4 catches in the game now as Keith Pratt goes off hurting for Central Connecticut. And Dustin Linden taking his place. Well, this Blue Devil defense has kind of been good play, bad play, good play, bad play so far in this drive. Tough against the run, though, again here. LaMonica is the deep back here. Fake it to him, and Saraceno looking downfield. Great play by Wilson, who knocked it away, but a flag comes in late. And he may have had his left arm draped around Jeff Brown's shoulders.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from here, but that's normally that flag was thrown with some purpose.
And Coach Masella, I don't think agrees
with this call.
That is the call. I can't read his lips exactly, but maybe I don't want to.
Of course, it's the
on the defense, number 17. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Let's see if we can see it here.
Oh, boy. Terrific play by Wilson either way. If his hand was on his waist, around his waist, then that's why the call was made. But Wilson, great athletic ability there, diving flat out to knock that one away. But it's a penalty and a first down and a completion now. A big hit out there to the 21-yard line. That's Anthony Pomilio into the football game now, and the fullback becoming a dangerous weapon for the Raiders.
Well, they're using the fullback. They watch. They faked that inside, and then they sent Dwayne Long inside, and then they came him out behind Long, and he had cleared out for him, and that gave him a chance to turn upfield. So the fullback being the receiver here, and they've got number 40, Mr. Evans, is back in.
And a first down as Pomilio picks up 11 yards. And here's Evans. Well, they're going to the big fellas, and they're producing right now on this drive. Ben Evans back in there. Picked up about 3.
Moving the pile.
And maybe trying to wear down that defense a little bit by sending out the big guns.
Douglas and the company, they've been in there a lot. And this is a long, Christian Hernandez, long drive for those guys. It's been on the ground, and the fullback passes, short passes.
Well, the Raiders bouncing back from that interception return for a touchdown by the Blue Devils, putting together another good drive here. LaMonica skips through the hole, got down to the 16-yard line. Short of the first down, it'll be 3rd and a long 3, call it almost 4.
Evans, nice block, did what the fullback's supposed to do. Led up through the hole and really got a good block, gave him the running room. But they're still, as you say, about 4 yards short.
Big 3rd down here. Field goal try from here would be about a 33-yarder. But they need more than 3.
Oh, that tackled him.
Too far.
Whoa.
Pomilio had it on his fingertips, but a little too long from Saraceno. And that'll be a 4th and 4.
So watch this. Let's see if he was on him a little bit early. Yeah.
Close call.
Yeah.
Stephon Benson there on the defensive effort. And it sure looks like the Raiders are thinking about going for this one. 2:30 to go in the third quarter, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Their 4th trip inside the 20 in this game. They've got 2 field goals so far to show for it. 4th and 4. Saraceno going to try to run for it. And if he got there, it's close. He took a hit.
I think
he
got
is
it.
just inside the 12. It looks like it from here.
Oh, they just
wait for the officials.
Changed the spot a little there from where I saw it.
And they eyeball it, and they're going to have to bring in the chains and measure this one. But Saraceno really took a hit. Tough kid. He didn't slide. He went in head first, trying to get that first down.
This is a crucial measurement. Yep, football.
Todd Mulligan making the call for us up here, pointing first down for the Raiders, and they keep the football. Take another look. The hit he takes.
It's just an out-and-out scramble.
Sullivan.
Yep.
And Saraceno meeting just about head on. And a big first down for the Raiders. They keep the drive alive just inside the 12-yard line. Still looking for their first touchdown of 2005. LaMonica inside the 10 as flags comes down, and the Raiders have hurt themselves on previous drives with penalties down here. Let's see which way this one goes.
Very seldom against the defense.
And why does it always seem to happen down inside the 20? Are they just watching more for it there? Or?
You know, I think about they're getting a little more desperate too. They know we got to make this big play, and you know.
84 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
Tight end there, Dillingham.
I really don't know if Coach Biddle's expression ever changes.
Doesn't seem to.
You know,
does, no.
It's very stoic over there, and mopping the brow. 31-8 over his last 3 years, by the way. I was talking to him about that yesterday. He's very proud of the consistency his program has showed year in and year out, winning seasons. And looking for 10 in a row this year. First and long. Saraceno to the air, and well, the contact was close again that time. Jeff Brown trying to come up with that one, and the defensive back got there.
I tell you
either
what,
right as the football arrived or maybe a half second before. Let's take a look. Could have gone either way.
A lot of close calls right in the same spot. By the way, Evans was wide open on the play. The fullback.
Got to start looking Big Ben's way, or maybe Dwayne Long. He's kind of been quiet lately. He's looking for Long over the middle, a little too high, and almost tipped up and intercepted. And Long tried to climb the ladder, couldn't get high enough.
Brian Sullivan in his face, but just able to get that ball up. But just, you're right, needed another couple of inches, 6-7 inches to get up and get that.
So a third and almost 20 coming up. And again, another big third down. They at least have to get back into field goal range, come up with something off this drive. Two of 7 on third down, 3rd and 18. Short pass to LaMonica, a little screen, delay screen. Still on his feet, LaMonica fighting. And boy, he got close to the first down. Didn't look like he was going to turn into much. But LaMonica breaking some tackles and staying on his feet. He got inside the 5. And certainly much better position from which to try a field goal, but the officials are conferring and see what they came up with.
We have a fumble forward.
The ball came loose apparently, and it was fumbled forward, and by rule they bring it back to the spot of the fumble.
They can still get a first down.
Is that the Dave Casper rule?
Yeah, I think they happened in the NFL.
Right?
Remember that? Sure.
Fumbled it into the end zone and then fell on it. So they're going to go for it here. 4th and a long 3 from the 5. Saraceno to the air. Touchdown. Dwayne Long. There he is. We've been calling for him. And Long comes up with a short catch, but it's a touchdown. And a big one for the Raiders, the first of 2005.
There was some zip on that ball. I'll tell you what, Saraceno was not fooling around with that. Watch this. That's a zip. And, you know, he was open for just so long. I told you, from what I've seen, they haven't been doing anything special to Long. They haven't been double teaming him. They just kind of guard him as he goes out. If they're in a zone, they haven't done anything special. Well, he got open that time, and I give Saraceno credit. He put the speed on that ball that got it there in a hurry.
We have yet to see an extra point go through the uprights, and we're still without one, and that was a big one. That would have pulled him within 8, within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So it stays a 9-point lead for the Blue Devils. But a big touchdown drive for the Raiders as they recover from that touchdown interception return by the Blue Devils.
Now there's one of those
6 of their own.
One of those what-if things, you know, if they hadn't thrown, even if they just had to punt. But that's what happens in football. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, I guess.
And for the Blue Devils, they've got to be happy. Their 9-point lead is still intact. Same lead they held at halftime.
Of course, one of the things that Colgate can take some solace in is the fact we 2 possessions to win the game, I guess, right? So.
And they'll have that for sure. Still a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Showing some signs of life here.
I was going to say, and they only need like a touchdown and a field goal, but the kicking game has gone awry here a little bit in this second half.
Yeah, the extra points have been hard to come by here. 12 plays, 77 yards. Terrific drive for the Raiders. And now to kick, Jacob Stein. I want to tell you about Jacob. This guy was an all-state kicker in the state of Florida last year. True freshman. Boots it down to the 5-yard line. Andre Smith stacked up
good
and
coverage.
Buried right at the 20-yard line.
So just on the 20, make him do the long field. Now let's see if they can put a little pressure on Sheard and company.
And the Blue Devil defense has done the scoring here in the second half for Central Connecticut. Let's see if Sheard can get something going on offense. Rolling left, now in trouble. Dollar back there again. Has to dump it off. It's incomplete. Hit the ground as JoJo Freeman tried to come up with it. Zach Dollar has been making a living back at the backfield.
Zach Dollar, he's run by him a couple of times. You know, he can come under control. He'd have had him a couple of times, but also Jared Nepa back there at number 31, the linebacker. They're starting to put some pressure on Sheard and saying, look, we're not going to let you stand back there and get comfortable. And he's been able to, roll out and get away from that and still throw the ball. So let's see if his luck turns a little bit here in the second half as Colgate tries to put the pressure on. Back in that little short shotgun.
And, Sheard is saying right now, I had a nickel for every time I saw Dollar close up. Probably have $1. And here's Freeman. Gets across the 20, a short gain on 2nd and 10. It'll bring up a 3rd and a long 8. Jared Nepa in on the tackle.
Cress Williams also 14 there.
So this Raider defense now trying to hold the line as we near the end of the 3rd quarter.
Big 3rd down for them. They can make them punt.
And I'm sure they'll let the time expire here as Sheard is over on the sideline, ready to head to the 4th.
I was looking to see if the wind made any difference here, and it's just kind of fluttering a little bit looking at the flag, so I guess it won't make much difference.
Let's get him an extra couple of minutes to talk with the coach about a big 3rd down coming up. Trying to convert and hang on to the football and keep it out of Colgate's hands. 9-point lead at halftime and a 9-point lead after 3 quarters. Blue Devils and Raiders on opening day here in Hamilton. Back at Colgate University, the Raiders still trailing by 9 as we begin the 4th quarter. And a big 3rd and 7 play coming up for Central Connecticut State. The Raiders trying to get the football back after scoring a touchdown on their last possession, a 12-play drive. Sheard going deep, and it's way overthrown. Steve Berjeski, the intended receiver out there, but it was a good 10 yards past him, and the Blue Devils will have to punt. So the Colgate defense
did the job.
Gets it right back.
Yep, did the job.
The question is the offense a little gassed after a 12-play, 77-yard drive?
No, I don't know. They've had some turnovers and stuff. They shouldn't be that tired.
That's true, right? And again, they're all 21 years old or so or younger.
Whoa.
Should have a lot of energy as Pearson. Spiraling kick taken by Bean. Couple of nice moves. And Bean on his feet. Bean, one man to beat. And it's the punter back there holding him up. Bean inside the 10-yard line. Big return for the Raiders.
Well, you need somebody to step up and make a big play occasionally, and boy, Bean did it right there.
And the punter was the last man there, and he was able to hold Bean up just long enough for Corey Tucker to come over and help out.
That was the nice move right there, and then he just changed the acceleration, then went straight ahead. Watch, he sets the punter up right there, but then runs out of room, just puts his head down. Look at it, come right here. There's the stutter step. Now watch the acceleration right here. There's the acceleration. Got a nice block in there from 34. Tupta.
A big return for Jeff Bean. And all-league safety, second team last year, 51-yard return, and he sets the Raiders up inside the 10. First and goal at the 8. LaMonica got to about the 5-yard line. Terry Dunn brings him down. Second and goal.
I want to see some sophisticated blocking. That was just push him off the ball.
Third quarter stats, Dale. Passing yardage.
Yep, it's increased a bit. Colgate's had the ability to throw the ball. They're hitting the fullback. Did a nice job. Now they got the run game going. First downs. Colgate 14-8. It's just the turnovers, the category you don't want to lead in. They got a big lead in.
I was going to say the coach likes every number there except for the big 6. And of course the numbers on the scoreboard right now trailing by 9, but second and goal. LaMonica into the end zone, touchdown. Ray LaMonica. And the lead is cut to 3 now. Extra point coming.
And now it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, well,
it's been an experience.
You just might as well go for 2 here.
Right. They got a kicker out there, right?
Yeah, Rava is on. So they'll try it again. But a big touchdown run there from LaMonica, all set up by the 51-yard punt return by Jeff Bean. Ooh. Rava boots it right through the uprights.
I said ooh because the snap looked a little low, but
I thought you were anticipating our first extra point of the day. 21-19 now the score as the Raiders have closed the gap in a hurry. And with that run, Ray LaMonica has passed the 1,000-yard mark for his career. Well, with 25 yards today, he will. I don't know where he's at right now, to tell you the truth. But Ray LaMonica is trying to move up the charts and moves into the end zone and actually trying to hang on to that starting tailback spot. We mentioned that Dick Biddle was going to try several people at that position, and there he is. He's right on the number. With those 25 yards, he has moved over the 1,000-yard mark. He's the 24th Raider to reach that mark in his Colgate career.
By the way, I want to give credit to Solofsky, the offensive center, did a nice job of blocking on that drive, the short drive, but for the touchdown, did a nice job of blocking the football players from Central Connecticut. The whole offensive line has really come along and I think really started to execute.
And Coach Biddle can't help but smile over there. Things have turned in the Raiders' favor here. And Jeff Bean, what a terrific punt return to set that one up.
He's got the Steinman out there to see if he can. Got it all the way to the goal line the last time.
Jacob Stein out of Shorecrest Preparatory School in St. Petersburg, Florida. And a big kick by Stein takes him back to the goal line. Good coverage downfield. Smith is brought down. Zach Dollar down there. We're calling his name again. Brent Smith also the first man there to slow him up. Dan Liedtke has another special guest down on the sidelines.
Well, it's Coach Emmett Davis, the head basketball coach here at Colgate. And no, this isn't next year's team, just a few kids, a few of his sons, and a birthday boy here. But Coach Davis, busy summer for you. Tell us what you had going on.
It has been a busy summer, a lot of recruiting. July is very busy for all Division I coaches as we're out looking for players for next year. And I think we've identified some good ones, and we're going to bring them in on visits here in the fall for some football games.
Well, you've got a great season opener. Tell our viewers at home about that.
Yeah, we do. We open up at home on November 18th against Florida Atlantic, the team we played last year. Matt Doherty's the new head coach there, the former North Carolina head coach, and it'll be his first game back on the sidelines.
And one last question, Coach. Tell us how the scholarships have impacted your program. This is your second year with scholarships.
Well, we're excited. We're making progress. We're getting back on a level playing field with the other teams in the Patriot League. We'll have 4 scholarship players active this year, and we're making progress. We're heading in the right direction.
Well, best of luck. We hope to see you down the road.
Thanks, Dan.
We'll send it back upstairs.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Dan, and definitely some talent on that Raider basketball team, Dale. And
you can't compete without any scholarships. I mean, that's what they said. They got enough scholarships. It's a great place to play and a great place to go to school.
Kyle Romer, one of the youngsters coming up. Outstanding as a freshman for the Raiders. And the Raider defense again doing the job out there on the football field.
I'm noting an elevated level of meanness in the defense from Colgate. That's just a anecdotal comment.
Methinks they were challenged at halftime by Coach Biddle.
Cashano just there. Nice job of getting in there. It's 3rd and short. It's really an important 3rd down here, obviously, for both squads.
And under Coach Biddle, this program at Colgate has become a very proud program and one that is unaccustomed to losing, especially on its home turf. And there must have been some fire at halftime. Here comes Dollar again in the backfield. He forced Shear to get rid of it. And Dollar, a quarterback hurry in a big way as Sheard has to dump it out on 3rd down, and they'll have to punt it again. Let's go back downstairs one more time.
Well, thank you, Mark. There is a flag down, but let me say something real quick here. The punter, Derek Pearson, number 9, kicks field goals with his right foot, and he punts with his left foot. That's pretty good balance there. I can barely put a sentence out just right-handed, so that's pretty good coordination. We'll send it back upstairs.
We're going to wave the flag off. The pass did cross the line.
Okay, they're wondering whether that might have been
grounding.
Intentional grounding, yeah, because that was just a heave. I'll tell you what, I don't know if the replay, Nepa jumped over the man who was blocking him.
I noticed that too.
And they put a lot of pressure on Dollar, who's been close but no cigar running by. He really has been the second half a little bit more under control, and they really put a lot of pressure now on the Central Connecticut offense.
And Pearson on to punt again. The Blue Devil offense has gone nowhere here in the second half. Defense has scored their only touchdown and preserved the lead. Another good kick from Pearson. And Bean, a 51-yard return last time. And another good one. Breaks the tackle across midfield. Jeff Bean. Really some slick moves out there as he gets up to the 46-yard line. And another good punt return.
You know, that was smart, too. You know what he did? He didn't do a lot of faking. He just wait, good vision, and then said, I'm going to go straight. I got to go straight.
He goes upfield. He doesn't dance around and go side to side.
He'll give you a move. He'll give you a move, but he's not going to lose any yardage. It's a real smart play by Jeff Bean, the strong safety out of Oleana, not too far from here, and there's going to be a timeout on the field.
That was impressive by Dan to notice the right foot, left foot thing.
I missed it.
He's paying attention down there. All right, we've got a great game here. 2-point game, 12 minutes to go. Back in Hamilton, and the Raiders are back on offense. Scored touchdowns their last 2 possessions. And they're in good shape again, starting out at the Central Connecticut 47-yard line. And now the Blue Devil defense has to dig in. Batted up in the air and caught by a lineman. And close to a first down. How do you like that? Every lineman's dream, and it's Ryan Hall. The kid from West Hill High School, likely with family in the stands, and Ryan. A dream come true, huh?
Yeah.
Did you ever catch a pass? You were a lineman, right?
Yes. No, I was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right, watch this. Kind of a dangerous pass up in the air. Nice job of knocking that ball down. Central Connecticut, that's done. But then Hall caught it, and it's tipped. It's anybody's ball.
Headsy play by Ryan Hall, and here's LaMonica trying to get around the corner. He's tripped up. Sullivan with a nice tackle. He comes up holding his hamstring, and back down on the ground he goes.
Yeah, Sullivan, I thought he was doing a little celebration, and he just grabbed his leg and went down. I hope it's cramp.
And nothing more than that. We'll be back here next Saturday for the first of a doubleheader of college football on Time Warner Sports 26. The Minutemen and the Raiders here at noon at Andy Kerr Stadium. And after this one, we'll head over to Syracuse for the Orange and the Buffalo Bulls. Game 2 of Greg Robinson's coaching career at Syracuse. That's a 3:30 kick. Both games live right here on Time Warner Sports. And continue to attend to Brian Sullivan, who made the big tackle for a loss there, loss of 1, but if he hadn't got him, I think LaMonica would have had a big gainer there. And we talked about the multi-talented punter kicker for this Blue Devil team. Here's the left-footed punt. And sure enough, kicking with the right foot and kicking right on the laces. He's got 3 long field goals today. And that's a good look right there at Pearson. Derek, the senior, and I still don't know, is that ambidextrous if you're both-footed? I know if you're both-handed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look that one up. LaMonica stacked up and buried as the Blue Devils. Another tackle for a loss. The Raiders moving the wrong way all of a sudden. Now back at the 40.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of people on the ball again. Look at all the blue hats. Everybody's getting to the football. They are flowing defensively.
And Corey Tucker there trying to rip the ball out.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Take it the other way. Parsons was holding up LaMonica. Now a 3rd and long coming up for Colgate. 3 of 8. Including 3 of their last 4. Saraceno has some time over the middle. Intercepted by Wilson, his 2nd of the day. Wilson trying to get around the corner. Dragged out of bounds at the 50. But another turnover. That was Steve Jonas getting over to make the tackle. But Anthony Wilson has his 2nd interception. It's the 5th interception of the day for the Blue Devils.
7th turnover, and he just looking to get the ball somewhere, but he threw it in the middle. Anytime you throw it in the middle of the field like that, in that situation,
late over the middle?
You're going to see, yeah, late over the middle, not good. Nice job of trying to, actually not trying, get him, knocking him out of bounds by the lineman. But yeah, there's too many hands in there. There's too many bodies in there when you try to throw that ball down the middle. Now the defense is going to have to do the job again.
And a first down, the pile moving out across the 45 down to about the 44-yard line. Ball looks like it might have come loose. Colgate players are signaling they've got it. Still no official word. And there it is. Raiders do have it. Looks like Jeff Galletley on the bottom of that pile, still fighting for the football.
Yeah. Good job.
I have no idea how the ball came loose or when it came loose, but the Raiders have it back. So trading turnovers here. And
Galletley on the bottom, 5'10", 265.
Colgate's 7th turnover is followed immediately by one from the Blue Devils. And so the Raiders defense, you said they have to do the job, and sure enough, they got it back. LaMonica, room around the right side, cuts it up, first down, inside the 45. He got to the 43-yard line.
Long doing the blocking out there, too, as a wide receiver. If they turned the corner, all you got to do is a nice screen block, and he got in front of his man. Let him get enough to get the first down. Watch him break it to the outside. You're going to see Long right there. All he had to do was screen the safety.
Not a good pickup for LaMonica. And now it's just inside the 43, a first down for the Raiders. Under 10 minutes to play here, trailing by 2. They led this game 3-0 at one point. And then Central Connecticut reeled off 15 straight points. Since then, it's been a comeback, and now they're saying the ball's loose again, and it is. It's going the other way. LaMonica got stripped of the football. And that's Pratt coming away with it for the Blue Devils. Keith Pratt, converted fullback, coming up with a big play on defense.
Oh, and a flag.
And the 8th turnover of the game. Flag comes down late. Let's take a look, see where we can see how it happened. There. Looked like it came out just before he touched the ground. I don't know if his knee was down or not by then, but
dead ball, unsportsmanlike act on the bench. Colgate, 15 yards, first down.
So the Raiders' frustration boiling over a little bit, possibly. Not sure what exactly happened over there, but Coach Biddle's getting the explanation.
I can guess. Somebody, the referee was back at the end of the bench, threw the flag down. Somebody must have said that they disagreed with the call in a kind of a term that was not endearing to the official.
Well, the explanation apparently not enough for Coach Biddle, who wants a little bit more. But a big penalty, a turnover and a penalty, and it's back at the 43 where the Raiders recovered a fumble just about a minute ago.
Is that 8 turnover or 8?
8 turnovers.
Yeah.
3 fumbles, 5 interceptions, and they're still only trailing by 2. In the backfield, Sheard gets away from it somehow. Now Williams going to drag him down. Back inside the Blue Devils territory. They're going to call an incomplete pass.
Oh, now another flag.
Sheard shoveled it ahead just as he was going down. We have a couple of officials signaling incomplete pass.
Who was it to?
And a flag, that's what I'm wondering. And now it's intentional grounding is going to be the call.
I believe it's an ineligible receiver downfield, yeah. Well, you see what happened. Well, yeah, if that was a pass, the linemen were going down to block for him, so somebody's got to be downfield. Right, that's my guess. I mean, you know, if that was a pass, they thought he was going to run. His lineman said, we got to take off down the field. And then, of course, if that's a pass, then they were downfield.
Ineligible man, downfield, number 64 on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage, still first down.
Well, he actually helped himself there because he was going out of bounds back in his own territory. So by just shoveling it ahead, I don't know if he thought that fast on his feet, but he takes the penalty, and it's only a loss of 5 versus a loss of about 8. So that's interesting. 1st and 15 now for the Blue Devils, back at the 48 of Colgate. And now the end around, Smith. The Raiders aren't fooled. Coming up, still can't get him down, and finally taken down at the line of scrimmage. Zach Dollar with a tackle. Several other Raiders had a shot at Andre Smith.
They're able to slip those tackles, both he and Sheard. They get in the backfield, and then those guys slip around them. Give them credit, but Colgate has been putting the pressure on this second half defensively. You can see everybody there. Watch this block right there by JoJo. Picked them off, and JoJo Freeman helped him out, but not enough.
Josh Wurst was back there, had a shot at him. 2nd and 15 for Sheard. Got his man complete for only a gain of about 3 as Berjeski slips down. It'll be a 3rd and long upcoming. Colgate again looking to get that football back. Boy, when you have 8 turnovers and you're still in the game, it's incredible. Still with a good chance to win this game.
Right.
They're certainly not making it easy on themselves as we go under 8 minutes to play here. Third and 12 for the Blue Devils, and the crowd starts to make a little noise on the far side. Plenty of time for Sheard. Over the middle and overthrows Andre Smith. And Smith was open. He would have had the first down, but it's incomplete. And a 4th down, and on comes the left-footed punting Pearson.
Sheared still under 100 yards, 87 yards in passing. Hasn't been able to really click like he did in the first half consistently, but he was scrambling and getting those, and they've done a better job of getting into him and forcing him to pass a little bit sooner, and now they're going to have to punt.
Bean's going to take it at the 12 and brought down almost right away. Got about 3 or 4. And Bean just about broke out of the grasp of a couple of different Blue Devils, but he's down at the 16-yard line. That's where the Raiders will take over exactly halfway through this 4th quarter. Colgate quarterback Mike Saraceno trying to battle back from a 5-interception afternoon, but you know what? Mike's battled back from a lot tougher things than this. He missed most of last season, went back home to try and take care of his mom who had cancer, and she has since passed away. And Mike came back to Colgate last spring, won the starting quarterback job, and here he is trying to win his first collegiate start, trailing by 2 here in the 4th quarter.
Another flag down here. They've also garnered some penalties, Colgate, if this indeed is against Colgate. They run that little counter play again, and I think it's going to be a procedure penalty.
Holding.
Ooh.
Number 62 on the offense. Half the distance from the spot of the penalty. Still first down.
It used to be they didn't give your number, you know. Yeah,
right.
You used to be able to say, yeah, you know, that guy next to me was doing it. But that was Solowski, the center, who's done a pretty good job today. That one cost them some yardage.
They've had a few of those today, and the turnovers as well. And the coach's 2 least favorite words, turnovers and penalties, costing the Raiders. Now back at their own 8-yard line, 92 yards away. Saraceno keeps it right up the middle. Good run for Mike. Got across the original line of scrimmage.
Gets it back to a reasonable 2nd down, I guess.
Came into this game with 5 career attempts. So thrown into the fire here in the first game, and this is not your typical easy opening game.
No, this is not.
Teams like to have. This is a good team.
It is a good team. And the thing that I like there, instead of forcing the pass, he just took off and ran with it, and said that could have been a disaster. And he smartly just tucked it up and ran and got good yardage.
Well, players, teammates think a lot of him as LaMonica takes it on 2nd down. Up to close to the 25, and they're getting there, about 3rd and 3 coming up. But Mike Saraceno, after missing all of last year, was voted a co-captain by his teammates.
Says a lot, doesn't it?
It does say a lot. They think a lot of him. He's very vocal and a very confident kid. Players feel comfortable with him. He knows this offense. He's been around the program, even though he wasn't here most of last year, but he was a backup quarterback before that. And now in the starting role. And if he can pull off a win here after all the turnovers and everything else that's going on.
Timeout. Central Connecticut.
Central Connecticut was a bit confused defensively. Coaches were not pleased. They're trying to get people in and out, and they eventually just said, we got to call a timeout. So they've cost themselves a timeout, 5:43 left. May not be a problem, but you always want to keep your timeouts.
And a big 3rd down coming up for the Colgate Raiders at their own 24-yard line. High school field hockey season is also underway. It's not just football season, a lot of sports getting things going, and our coverage begins Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, RFA in Liverpool. A couple of stronger teams in the big school bracket. Tuesday night start at 7 o'clock here on Time Warner Sports. Just a great day to be outside. And if you're watching a college football game, even better. As Tim Sheard looks on, Corcoran High School grad. His team hanging on to a 2-point lead. The Raiders have really controlled much of this second half, and a big first down. That's Garrett Rose pulling it down at the 30. And the Raiders keep the ball, keep the drive alive.
They spread them out with trips to this side of the field, and he went back to the weak side, just one-on-one. And he knew with that one-on-one coverage that he was going to get it to Garrett Rose, number 2. Little guy, 5'8", 181. Another one of those guys out of Florida, tackled by Anthony Wilson, but they did get the first down.
5 catches last year as a true freshman for Rose. That was a big one there. And here's Long, another first down catch. Out to the 44-yard line. And Saraceno right on the money that time as well.
Yeah, well, we knew that they had to get Long in that game. He wasn't in the game in the first half. I mean, he got that first pass, but not that he wasn't in the game. They couldn't find him. Of course, they had their own problems with turnovers and things, but Long is going to be able to play a big part in this last 5 minutes.
5th catch of the game for Dwayne Long as he approaches the 100-yard mark. Big first down here. LaMonica up the middle, and a flag comes down, and that one could be going backwards again.
I know exactly what it was. Mr. Evans got his hand up when he blocked. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I know it's holding. I saw him come in, and when you block, you can't get that hand up and wrap it around the shoulder pad.
Number 40 on the offense. 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage. Still first down.
Good call there, Stripes.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, Colgate does not like to make it easy on themselves. Watch him. Maybe you can see it in the right. No, that wasn't him. No, you can see it on the left-hand side, yeah. He got his hand up. I saw it right away. I didn't know if they'd call it, if they'd see it, but the referees are right on top of it. So they're in a hole again, 1st and 20. They don't make it easy today.
They're kind of doing the dance, moving up, moving back.
They got to get within field goal range. Let's put it that way to win.
Just under 5 minutes to play, clock rolling. 1st and 20. Saraceno kept it and didn't get very far. Got maybe a yard. And not nearly enough. Terrell Moultrie over there. We haven't said his name today yet.
Very difficult to pass the ball when you roll out like that and you're going so fast to the sideline because there's nobody left to pass to. You know, you've run everybody. The receivers to your right they're no good anymore. So it's only one guy, and then they had too much coverage out there. Nice job by number 28, Nigel Monge.
As we approach the 4-minute mark, 2nd and 19. Delayed handoff, LaMonica. Got up to the 40, another short gain, and it'll be 3rd and long upcoming for Colgate.
Well, this is 4th down territory. I'm assuming, right?
I would think at this point.
Yeah, so they got 2 downs to get, 14 yards.
Third and 14 for the Raiders at their own 40. They're 4 for 10 on 3rd down. Looking for Parker. He's got him. First down. Well, Kenny Parker's made some big catches in his first game as a starter. 5 catches for Parker, 5 for Long as well.
By the way, I was checking out after you see that what they were doing. Here's the pass coming right at you. Nice tight spiral right in front of Benson. Nothing he could do. Great pass, great catch. But they single covered Long with a linebacker and just stayed with him. Of course, I don't know if obviously wasn't the primary receiver, but Parker makes a big catch, and it was a nice pass. See how tight that spiral was?
18 yards on the completion, and the defender, Stephon Benson, is still down on the field for Central Connecticut. 3:18 showing on the game clock, and a first down at the 42-yard line of the Blue Devils for Colgate. And Stephon Benson is helped to his feet, and he'll get a nice hand from the Blue Devils side.
Might be a cramp too. I don't know. They were rubbing his calf.
So 1st and 10 at the 42. 3:15 and counting in this football game. Opening day of the football season. And a good one here in Hamilton. LaMonica right up the middle. Gets inside the 40, and now they push the pile.
Yeah, and that's what the referee blew the whistle for.
Just keep pushing him right down the field. And we'll see where they spot the ball. They're going to give him the 37. He got 5 on 1st down.
Nice blocking up front. That's Hall up there, number 75 again. Ryan Hall, the guy who also drank a gallon of milk in 55,
yeah, I read that
55 minutes.
Supposedly it's impossible
Under
to
an
drink
hour.
a gallon of milk in an hour without relieving yourself in several different ways, and he did it, according to him.
Oh.
Dwayne Long, close to the 1st down marker, got it. Still on his feet inside the 30. Dwayne Long, 6th catch of the game, another 1st down for Colgate. And Raider fans are smelling a dramatic finish here.
Well, Scott Parsons was in the backfield. Watch right there. They did not pick him up well at all, and I got to give credit to both Saraceno and Long. Saraceno would have liked a little clearer view and a little more time to throw, but you know what? He did a good job of getting the ball to Long, and it's 1st down after they, it was 20, right? They after that holding
way
penalty.
Back at their own 8-yard line at one point. Now here's Hansen back in the game. Spins off a tackler. He got about 3. Didn't get out of bounds, though. Clock continues to run, under 2 minutes to go now.
You know, the thing was, he could have been for 0. He got 3. He did a nice job of spinning. Got tackled at the end there by Chris Stimwell, number 54. But
And now LaMonica back on the field. The Raiders facing a 2nd and 7. Trailing by 2. From here, the field goal try, if they were to kick it here, would be about 43 yards. Any closer they can get, they'll take. Saraceno's got a lot of room to run. Now he gets inside the 20 as Wilson close to another 1st down. See if it's close enough to stop the clock and measure.
you can see him look, no. No, I'm just going to run it. Reaches up, gets a little bit more of a reach on that. 2nd and less than 1.
And they are going to stop the clock and bring on the chains.
Okay. Well, that's good for Colgate.
That's right. Time to breathe a little bit as this clock working in their favor for the time being.
I'll tell you what, this Connecticut defense has been out there a long time. They're kind of, see those chests rising and falling here a lot more rapidly than they did in the first part of the game. That's a 1st down, so that gives them some time to operate. They got 1:08. If you're the field goal kicker, you're over there going, gee, I hope they get a touchdown. Come on, guys.
Or get about another 10, 15 yards, make it a chip shot.
No, get a touchdown.
Well, Mike Rava, a chance to be a hero, perhaps.
Well, not him, the long snapper, too. He's the other guy saying,
That's right.
Hope they score a touchdown.
From here, it would be about a 36-yard attempt as they continue to close in on that end zone. Here's Saraceno trying to get around the corner, and he does. And now going for the out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Stops the clock with 47 seconds remaining.
So a nice scramble. Saraceno has really picked up his game here. Nice job by Saraceno. Not only that, he stopped the proverbial clock at 47 seconds. They're on a 15-yard line.
Second down and 7 for the Raiders. LaMonica tries the middle.
Did you see number 70 in there last? Mulligan trying to
guess I missed it.
Trying to move the pile.
And I think they
Colgate.
Timeout Colgate. There was Mulligan was last man in trying to get that pile moving. And if anybody can move a pile when you're 6'2", 299, you got a good opportunity to move it.
Be the guy to move it.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't get the 160-pound guy back there to move the pile.
No.
Well, right now they're looking at about a 30-yard field goal, which would give them a 1-point lead. And there's Mike Rava. He has 3 field goals in his career, and all are under 30 yards. 27 and 21 yards today, and a 28-yarder last year. He looks pretty calm over there, Dale.
Yeah, that's
looks like he's just, you know, nothing to do.
Hey.
And kickers are, I say it all the time, a different breed. You just never know what's going on in their heads.
Yeah. Well, if you do, they're probably not a good kicker, I guess, right? Because they call the timeouts, they try to freeze them, you know, they do all that stuff.
Try to visualize that kick going through the uprights.
And don't forget, we got Stein there too. He's the freshman. He must have kicked some down in Florida. So we'll see what they do. Could be a moot point.
That's right. It could be. It's a 3rd down coming up.
Boy, whatever you do, don't throw an interception.
Hold on to that football. 8 turnovers in this game, and yet the Raiders in position to win it. LaMonica down to about the 10. And a timeout called right away.
Timeout. Central Connecticut.
By the Blue Devils, of course, as they
Second charge timeout.
hope to get the ball back should Colgate go in front with a little bit of time. And it will be a very little at this point. But a 4th down for the Raiders. Field goal try would be about 28, 29 yards. And they're right in the center of the field, so you can't ask much more of that if you're a kicker. But the life of a kicker is so tough. You can either be a hero right here or just the opposite.
Long snapper says it's Ronnie Millen for Colgate. Number 80. Let's see if indeed that's who comes out there.
We'll see. Bob Cornell was just in here telling us about someone else that may be coming out to give it a shot.
What, the snapping or the kicking?
The snapping, I believe, yeah. I believe,
okay.
yeah, the long snapper.
Okay, well, it's good to know.
But it is number 80. The holder is Mike Saraceno, the quarterback. And the kicker is Josh. Mike Rava. Mike Rava, this is from 27 yards out for the lead. Kick is up and he got it. And the Raiders have the lead back. 27 seconds to play here in Hamilton. And they are celebrating out in the stands. It was 21-6 early in the 3rd quarter. And the Raiders have rallied, and Mike Rava, 3rd field goal of the afternoon, has put the Raiders back in front for the first time since 3-0.
Ronnie Millen came all the way up from Stone Mountain, Georgia to snap that ball.
You know, it's funny. You just never know. You bring these kids in from all over the country, and you never know when their shining moment is going to come. And that was perfect as far as Dick Biddle's concerned. And the Raiders with a 1-point lead now.
Now the Stein guy comes out, see if he can't put it in the end zone maybe. He's got a little wind in his back. There you're looking. The Central Connecticut may have only 1 timeout left, I believe.
1 timeout.
They burned that one when they couldn't get the defense on the field.
And their offense has been shut out here in the second half by the Raider defense.
Yeah, the defense made a big showing here in the second half.
Blue Devils scored on an interception return to open the scoring in the second half to make it 21-6. But the Raiders have responded. And Mike Rava's 27-yard kick has given them the lead. And look at the kickoff from Stein through the end zone.
He came all the way from Florida to do that.
Jacob Stein, the true freshman out of St. Petersburg, Florida. And now the good news for Central Connecticut, no time ran off the clock, so they still have 27 seconds and 1 timeout to work with. Tough spot for Tim Sheard. First career start for the sophomore. We always just want a chance to be that hero. And here it is. Sheard under pressure, and he's going to go down. Casano in on the sack, Galletley as well. And that Raider defense has really controlled things on the field here in the second half.
Patron there, 78 also. They have really picked it up.
Central.
Galletley, watch right here on the bottom. That's Galletley right there. And then Casano
kind of getting his hand in there. He wants that half sack.
That's right.
A good job by the defensive line as they closed in. And you know, they've got mostly defensive backs out there. So a good job closing the pocket. And Sheard really had nowhere to go with it. So they burn their final timeout. 18 seconds left. Second down from the 15-yard line.
Well, they're not going to press him here.
Casano coming in.
Turn around.
Sheard gets rid of it. Got his man on the sideline. Complete. Brzeski cuts it up. And Brzeski
score
across the 40. Brzeski inside the 20. Can he get there? Pushed out of bounds, and time has run out. No time on the clock. Blue Devils say there should be a second or so. Andrew Moore ran him out of bounds at the 15. And what are they going to say? They're going to put a little more time on the clock. Wow, what a play. Talk about dramatic. Sheard to Brzeski, and look at the move here.
And then just slip down. Oh, you just want to keep him in front of you. You don't want to get this. And he cuts against the whole grain. And a nice job of running him down, but Andrew Moore got there late.
And now a 32-yarder.
Colgate.
As Colgate calls timeout. What a turn of events here at Andy Kerr Stadium. Derek Pearson on the field with a 32-yarder to win it. He's already kicked 3 field goals this afternoon, from 48 and from 42 and from 32. Incredible.
I'm stunned.
It looked like they had no hope. It was second and ball game from their own 15, and Sheard got out of trouble and found Brzeski, who took it down to the 15. Raiders kicking a field goal of their own with 27 seconds to go to give them a 1-point lead.
This is going to be stunning no matter what happens.
And Derek Pearson, a chance to spoil a home opener here in Hamilton. And the Raiders, another timeout to try and freeze Pearson a little bit.
Timeout.
That's their last timeout, so next time they come up to the line, it'll be it, win or lose.
I heard a fan yell, "You can do it, Pearson."
Well, it certainly has been entertaining here. Colgate Raiders rallying to score 16 straight points to take a 1-point lead here in the second half. And now from their own 15-yard line, the Blue Devils take it 70 yards on the pass play the other way. And when Brzeski was pushed out of bounds, there was no time showing on the clock. They put 1 more second on, just enough time to try a field goal. Tough angle, 32-yarder from the right hash.
Ooh, high snap.
Kick is up, and it hooks in, and it's good. And the Blue Devils have won it. Unbelievable. And for the Colgate Raiders, devastating. It's only week 1, but you come all the way back to take the lead, only to give up a 70-yard pass play and a field goal on the final play of the game, the 4th of the game for Derek Pearson. And Central Connecticut State comes in here and ruins the home opener for Colgate.
Snap looked a little high. just looked like it was going right, just inside that upright. Get a look at the sideline here.
Wow, I'm out of breath.
Wow.
I didn't see that coming. Tim Shear, the local kid from Corcoran High School, getting a big hand as he completes the 70-yarder. And with 1 second on the clock, Derek Pearson kicks it through as time runs out. And Central Connecticut wins it. 24-22 is the final score. And for the 5th time in 6 years, the Colgate Raiders have lost their season opener. And that's a shocking stat when you consider how many games they've won here.
They came back and played. They played well in the second half, made some adjustments, but not enough.
And Dan Liedtke standing by with the hero of the game, Tim Shear.
Thank you, Mark. The Cougar, now he's a Blue Devil. Game looked back and forth, back and forth. It looked like it was over for you guys, but that last play obviously got you down the field and pulled this one out. Tell us about it.
Oh, we know we needed a big play, and I seen Steve out there. I just let him be a big playmaker. We know Steve is one of our great receivers, and he's a playmaker, and I just gave it to him and believed in it, and he made a big play for us.
First year in there starting, and you really took control of this team. Tell us about the game today and how things worked out.
Well, we know we had to come out and play because Colgate is a tough game, and we know how they had a winning streak, 20 games. So we know we worked extra hard, and we give a lot of credit to Colgate. It was a great game, and we just came out with the win.
Tim Shear, great job.
Thank you.
We'll send it back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Dan, and congratulations to Tim Shear and the Blue Devils. Almost half his passing yards on the second to last play of the game, setting up the game-winning field goal and sending the Raider fans home pretty unhappy, to tell you the truth. 24-22, Blue Devils win it, coming back to Hamilton.
Win the title again.
Well, the longest home winning streak in 1AA football is now out of Colgate's hands. It belongs to Appalachian State now as the Blue Devils come in and end the 17-game home winning streak here with a win on the final play of the game. How about some final stats? And boy, that turnovers number really sticks out.
When you 4 times as many, that's a killer. They still had a chance to win it, and they also had some penalties there at crucial times. So I think kind of an opening where they could have won it. Obviously, they thought they did. They got some things to work on, but I think that they're going to be all right. They've got, again, the penalties and the turnovers. But I think Saraceno looked much better in the second half. So it looks like it's going to be good for Colgate. Got to get their feet underneath them.
Well, that'll do it from Hamilton. A gorgeous day, but not that pretty an ending for Raider fans as the Blue Devils win it 24-22 on a last-second field goal from Derek Pearson. Our next telecast coming up, Massachusetts Colgate right back here next Saturday as the Raiders look to rebound from the season-opening loss. It's a noon start right here on Time Warner Sports and the first game of a doubleheader. That's going to do it from Hamilton. For Dan Liedtke down on the sidelines, my partner Dale Drypolcher, our producer-director Andy Robinson today, and all of us here at Time Warner Sports. Mark Larson saying thanks for watching until the final second. If you didn't, you missed it. Raiders go down 24-22.